That's for Israel. Wonder is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force a simple that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature that mean extorted it. They forging it. If news ain't good informant to informing them, there's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this: we porting ships, important gifts. Of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informant this, informant this. It looked like we were snoring tricked. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder is it real? In a world where there are actual living, breathing people who thinks the moon landing was real. What up, fam? All right, so that's Austin singing in the background. Shouts out to my boy Mr. Anderson. I see my boy Rob, Awesome Austin, my boy Cuddy, LRN News, Mr. Plamp, Sunflower, my boy Rune Dragon, bunch of legends in the chat. Question the answers. I might have already said Angel. I can't pronounce your name. Sorry. CJ? Saj, maybe. All right, cool. Peter James, am I banned? I don't think so. All right, so this is going to be a pretty chill stream, meaning I don't have like this gigantic presentation about the moon or anything. I think I just changed color. You see that? Did I just change race? Whoa. It's going to be much like the 9/11 vibe. I'm going to kind of talk about it for a little bit, and then we're going to have a call-in show. If anybody has any funny videos or anything like that they want to show, if they have any like compilations of moon landing fells or anything, you can email them to me. And I think you can also go to, I think I set up a Telegram, just saying. You can go to t.me/witsitgetsit. And you can drop stuff in there as well. You feels me? All right, cool. I'm trying to get everything finished, so I wasn't able to stream yesterday. I was working on trying to get everything set up for the streams. Like I was using Streamlabs, and it just is not going to work with Streamlabs. So I had to
try to start all over after all that time to start setting up OBS. So yeah, I'm in the process of doing that. We'll have everything soon. Before we get into the moon landing, I am debating on Modern Day Debate Saturday. I don't actually know what time. Maybe 9 Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern, Saturday night. Somebody named Tim Pryor. I don't even know who that is. And I think we may do the clone stream Friday. I'll let you guys know tomorrow for sure. And then I'm going to be having that Bryant guy on for a 1v1 convo maybe next week. I got to get everything ironed out with them. Yeah, I'm learning OBS. Going to play with it again in the morning. Yeah, it's like, I feel like a boomer, bro. I don't know anything about it. All right. So allegedly we went to the moon in 1969. Like I said, if anyone wants to email me, witsit@protonmail.com, if they have anything they want me to show on the stream about the moon landing, obviously don't be sending me like 30-minute videos. Don't send me like the 3-hour American Moon documentary. If you got like any short clips or anything like that. And then we'll let people call in and we'll just talk about it. We went there. Very profound. We didn't do anything. You went to the moon, bro? How are you going to say we went to the moon? My goodness. Anyway, so in 1945, we did something called Operation Paperclip. It was called that because paper clips were put in certain people's files to know who the government wanted to bring over here from the Nazi regime. In 1946, we did Operation High Jump. We went and explored the Antarctic region, led by Admiral Byrd. He came back on television in 1954. After years of exploring the Antarctic region, he said, "It's astonishing to me there's a land as big as the continental U.S. on the other side of Antarctica that remains unexplored with tons of resources." He died a couple years later from heart complications. His son was found dead in a warehouse. And then right after that, so that was 57. Then in 58, I think it was in 58, they founded NASA. And in 59, they signed the Antarctic Treaty. Hey, Adam became a new member. You are now a Miswit. Hey, give him a round of applause. Everyone, shout out to Adam for becoming a member. Thanks to everyone that became a member so far. You guys are legends. All right. So I would suggest that no one really give people attention in the chat that are like trying to defend the moon land. It's like it's literally pointless in talking to someone that lies about the moon landing or for it, right? So I'm going to cover some of the basic things. We're going to watch a couple videos. If you guys have any other videos, send them in. Then I'll open up the lines pretty quickly and we'll just chat a little conspiracy campfire style, you feels. And you can go to witsitgetsit.live to donate to the stream. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be running OBS. So if you donate through there, which I get all the proceeds there except for the processing fee, then it'll pop up on the screen when you donate to kind of meet people halfway with the super chats. Of course, you can still super chat. It'll be up in the chat. I'll throw you up on the screen with whatever super chat and read it off. And yeah, actually, I want to go ahead and shout out to other people that sent some donations in the last couple days. So thank you, Scott, for the donation on Cash App. Much love, brother. Thank you very much. Matt, keep crushing, man. Don't stop making vids. Julie Noted, thank you for the donation, brother. Much love. Rodney, thank you for the donation on Cash App. It's greatly appreciated. My boy Dave Hinkle, again, thank you for the donation. Dustin for FE for Life, thank you for the donation on Cash App, brother. Much love. Let me see here. Hey, Austin, was inspired by your rant on the debate review about supporting truth or content. I don't know. Okay. Supporting truth content creators. You're the first one I found who both gets that it's flat and also understands LOA. Would really like to talk to you to see if you know some things I don't. Cool, man. Email me. What's it at protonmail.com. Thank you for the generous donation, Peter, on PayPal. It's greatly appreciated. Much love, brother. Just email me. It's about time I pay something away. Looking forward to an extended one-on-one with Bryant. Thank you for the donation, Richard, on PayPal. Yeah, that should be fun. I'll let you guys know here soon. So again, you can go to ᴜᴇᴏ.live. I'll actually just go ahead and show it to you guys. Now, I'm still working on it, so it's not completely set up or anything like that, but I'm going to try to have everything on there so you can kind of stay up to date. So we'll come here. So when you go up, it'll show you the chat from the current live. You'll have the YouTube live right here. You can donate right here on the side. You got one time or monthly. It'll have my most recent videos. You can go to my popular videos. You got links to the TikTok, Patreon, YouTube, Twitch. I haven't filled this out yet. Then this is my debate playlist up there. You got the Discord. And then we're going to keep adding to it. And I'm trying to find a way to get the calendar on there. So again, this is ᴜᴇᴏ.live. So pretty cool. That way you can go there to send donations. Yeah. Shout out to my boy. Wait for it. Oh, he hasn't popped up yet. Rob for becoming a miswit. He's a new member. Hey, everybody give him a round of applause. Thank you, Rob, for signing up to become a member, my brother. Damn, bro, that website's dope. It's all right. Thank you, man. All right, so yeah, and we're just gonna keep working on everything I get. I'm trying to get it, like I said, I had it all set up on freaking Streamlabs, and it's just not gonna work. So I'm kind of triggered about that, but I'm trying to get everything set up. I'm like an OBS boomer, so bear with me. And yeah, once we finally get everything ironed out and get the routine, it's gonna be dope. We'll have the different shows at different times. Cool. All right, so let's get into it. Like I said, debate Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern about the Earth. I think Friday might be the clones debate with Bryant, the BSMA physicist that we talked with on Jaren's channel, 1v1, hopefully next week. Yeah, and we got some other stuff in the works, but I'll save it. All right. Share screen. Dang, I don't know if it's going to play the audio, though. I forgot about this. That's why we got to get off freaking... Oh, my goodness. I forgot about that. All right, I'm going to try to upload it real fast. In a world where no one knows what the world is. Oh, snap. Been waiting for that drop. Not sure what you're talking about. I wish What's It would debate that Professor Dave guy. We're waiting on him to man up and debate me on a neutral platform. He agreed to debate, but on Fight the Tight Shirts channel with him as the host and like McLooney Tunes as the moderator. So that would be 3v1, three of the most toxic, dishonest people, gaslighting people, fallacious people I've, in this entire realm. So I'm obviously not doing that. So that's pretty much how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying, cuz. All right, so we're going to play this video I just uploaded. You guys tell me in the chat if you can hear the sound. You feels me? All right, here we go.
I'm here with Don Pettit. You probably recognize this guy.
Go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
All of this to get just this little bit to the moon and back.
That's the command module.
So why did it take all of that to do this?
That's called the rocket equation. The rocket equation deals with moving from point A to point B in a gravitational field. It tells you how much propellant you need in order to do that, compared with how much your total rocket weighs.
This is the rocket equation.
You've got the gravity of Earth, and we're not going to change that. And then you have the energy in your rocket propellant, and once you max out what is possible with chemistry, then there isn't any more. You max out the energy density, and then you plug it in the rocket equation, and you have to abide by what it says.
Think about that.
Say you increase the size of Earth so that Earth's gravitational constant increases. If Earth were about 10%, maybe 15% bigger, we would not be able to make a rocket to carry any useful payload into space. In essence, we could not get off this planet.
This is shocking news. Huge new developments. There's a lot of talk about going back to the moon. You want to go?
Oh, I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. Destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. The only limit to a human future is in our own imagination.
Hey, are you about to make a flat earth joke down in the comments? I'm here to tell you to just say no to flat earth, kids. The only buzz I get is for real science. We've been to space. I can't believe we even have to do this.
Sorry about the profanity, but still pretty funny video. Dude, I was dying, bro. I couldn't narrate though because we had to upload it through StreamYard, but thought that was super funny. So yeah, we brought a Nazi over here to take us to the moon. And so a lot of like moon landing apologists, they'll say, well, he was just a scientist. He wasn't like a Nazi. He was just a scientist. And if he didn't go along with it, he would have died himself. He was an SS officer. Wernher von Braun was an SS officer who ran a camp with terrible conditions and lots of people died. He was, according to the information we know, he was a terrible person. And so we took him, we put him in charge of space exploration. Now, he was known for showing fake rocket videos to the German public. Like, it's known, publicly known, that he showed propaganda films claiming they could do more with rockets than they really could. No way he would have, done the same thing over here, though. Anyway, Wernher von Braun was brought over here. JFK said we're going to go to the moon in 8 years in 1961. 1962, they did Operation Fishbowl, part of a bigger operation called Operation Dominique. So Operation Fishbowl of the Lord, because Dominique translates to of the Lord etymologically. And, they could only get to a certain altitude and their missiles kept blowing up. They said they were testing nuclear missiles, nuclear weapons at different altitudes. A few decades before this, there's declassified documentation from the government talking about a method to determine the brightness of the firmament. And it says that the approximation method was proven accurate. The government said they had an approximation method to determine the brightness of the firmament and that it was proven accurate. Anyway, that was 1962 when they shot the missiles up. Fast forward a little bit, JFK gets assassinated, 1968. Film of the year, 2001 Space Odyssey, is about going to the moon. So they send out a movie to condition everyone to get ready to accept that we're going to go to the moon. If you've ever seen that movie, it's like one of the worst movies I've ever seen, though. It was so excruciating. Kai and I watched it because I had never seen it, and it was so bad. It was so hard to sit through that movie. It was the worst movie I think I've ever seen. But anyway. So then that same year, Gus Grissom said we can't go to the moon. And that didn't work out for him. He was an astronaut. Worked for NASA. I'm going to check my email. If anyone has any good videos or anything to send me, I'll go check them out and I'll throw them up. Anyway, and then 1969, we miraculously went to the moon. And we haven't been back since. They said they destroyed the technology. One of the moon rocks was proven to be petrified wood. They have a cover story for all this, though, right? So you have two decisions. You have two choices. You can like look at it for what it is, be like, wow, that's sus. That's not adding up. Or you can just desperately look for whatever narrative they came up with to dismiss stuff, right? And they say that basically they got tricked with the moon landing. Someone else lied to them about it, with the moon rock. Anyway, and they claim, and so what a moon landing apologists will say is we have tons of other moon rocks. So what about them? Well, they admit that about 70% of the moon rocks that we have on Earth were found on Earth. And they claim they come from the moon or whatever. Yeah, that's right. You heard that right. They say 70% of the moon rocks that we have were found on the Earth. Weird. Okay. And of course, they lost the telemetry data. They accidentally lost and recorded it. Okay. So if you want to really look into the moon, you can watch something called American Moon, a documentary. All right. Something else that's very interesting about it. Let me show you this. If I can find it. How dare you? All right, hopefully you guys can hear it. And yeah, let's check it out. They killed the astronaut that hung a lemon on it. Yes, they did. Let's check out this video. This is of course protected under Fair Use Act. Okay. I don't believe your stupid story. I don't believe the way that you paint this narrative. I am critiquing it. I am drastically altering it. I'm sitting here talking over it, pausing it, commentating on it. In fact, I even have a disclaimer scrolling across the bottom for you. Okay. It's called the Fair Use Act. Stop wasting my time by striking everything. My goodness. All right. Let's check it out. And now the sound is gone. They heard me talking, bro. It's all over. This is from the BBC. I said give it credit. Jules Verne predicts the moon landings. BBC. How dare you?
He claimed that 3 human beings would quit the terrestrial globe and launch into interplanetary space with almost a certainty of reaching their destination.
Just over 100 years later, Neil Armstrong went to the moon.
He said these men would launch from the east coast of America, a spot in Florida, near the 27th degree north latitude. course, it would be the Americans. The Yankees, the world's best mechanics, are engineers in the way the Italians are musicians and the Germans are metaphysicians by right of birth. Their destination, he predicted, would be the moon. The ball we are about to discharge at the moon is our ambassador to her.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
He even predicted the world's reaction. Human creatures who had just left the terrestrial sphere and returned after this strange voyage into celestial space could not fail to be received as the prophet Elias would be if he came back to Earth. To see them first and then to hear them, such was the universal longing.
Oh, what a coincidence. Oh, total coincidence. We got a globe/depravity apologist in the chat saying that I was lying about the moon rock, that moon rocks are found on the earth. Yeah, because I just made that up, so let's just look at it. More than 370 lunar meteorites have been collected on Earth. Okay, glad we got that covered. Weird. And by the way, just so you know, it's my suggestion is that when you talk to someone and they intentionally twist what you say so they can pretend that you're wrong, right? Like saying like I say, like maybe double down and say I said that all of them were on the earth or whatever, right? Yes, the moon rocks were brought back from the moon, so yes, you lied. You see what I'm saying? Like on cue, you see what I'm saying? In the chat saying he said that moon rocks were on the earth, that's a lie. Then we show it, and now it's totally different narrative, right? So anyway, what I actually said, of course, is they admit even themselves that majority of the moon rocks that we have were found on the earth. So it's much like what was going on with that other channel. I can't remember their name. They're like obsessed with like melanatomy and people's mouths and stuff like that. Really weird. They do the same thing. A lot of my critics, they intentionally and blatantly lie and misrepresent what I say. For example, they were talking today and they said that in that debate with Bryant, I said that Cavendish, I said you didn't even account for electrostatics, and then I turned around and said that electrostatics was constant, which I never said any such thing. There's constantly a fluctuation of electrostatics. It's never still ever. So anyway, to say like if that Glober was smart, he would have been able to call him out on that, blah, blah, blah. That's called lying, right? Like intentionally taking what someone says and twisting it. And you'll understand that when you talk to anyone about the moon landing, for example, that is what you get. You'll say something and they'll start debating against something you didn't say. They'll twist what you say. They'll lie about what you say. This should just be eye-opening to anybody with eyes to see and anyone that's being honest. They're not even worth energy. They're not. It's a futile pursuit to like try to interact or engage with someone like that because they've proven that they have intentions to do nothing but lie. And what that means is, and they'll go into their little, either they're so deluded and crazy that they just convince themselves that other people are believing them, right? Even when everyone can see them. Or they'll go to their little like echo chamber rooms and then like relay that message, say in this scenario about me and what I say, to them, so they can all try and run along with this false narrative, knowing that they're lying. There's nothing you can do with that. They can do that forever. They can do that until the end of the time. You can correct them, and then they'll just keep doing it. They'll ignore your correction. They'll pretend that they didn't hear it. They'll just keep lying. Complete waste of time. It's not even worth talking to people like that. Like FED. Straight up. That's what they're still doing. So it's like, it's just stupid. It's like not even worth time or energy. You couldn't be a worse person probably, right? Like if you just run around intentionally lying all the time, honestly, our position is just to kind of feel bad for them and try to show some empathy, because that's got to be torturous, right? All right, let me see if anyone sent me anything. Now, I have a couple more things I'll show you, and then I'm going to open up the lines. Like, to talk about everything that's wrong with the moon landing, we'd have to talk forever, right? Like, there's just so much that's sketchy about it that it's insane. So I'm waiting for this to load up. All right, I don't see anything there. I did see someone become a member, though. I'm not going to forget you, brother. If I can find you. Where'd you go? Sorry, a second. I'm trying to find that. I know you're here somewhere, bro. There you go. Hey, shout out to Całᴘ. Sorry if I say your name wrong. If you can correct me the spelling and at me in the chat, I'll say it right. But hey, round of applause for becoming a Misfit. Yeah, thank you for becoming a member, brother. It is greatly appreciated. Yeah, I'm not, like, personally, I don't care to, as long as it's not like crazy, just hateful, like way too far insults and comments and stuff like that, or someone doesn't talk about my wife or something, I don't really care. They get what they want. They get what they want if you just constantly, if everyone impulsively interacts with them. That's the only reason they do anything. When I say they, I mean, yeah, everyone like that. All right, cool. I think I got one more video here I want to show you. Show you. I'm going to show you. Now, let's see what this says. I actually haven't seen this yet, but someone said that I should check it out. So I'm not staking the validity or lack thereof, but it should be interesting. All right, let's check it out. I'll talk with you guys some. And then after this video, I'm going to open up the phone lines. You guys can come on. We'll just kind of reminisce. It's similar to 9/11, right? Like if someone wants to believe in 9/11 official story or the moon landing official story, it's like, bruh, just let them have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be kind of dumb or like so brainwashed that you are effectively dumb, right? And it's like, have empathy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should kind of feel bad for someone like that. She's not blocked. She's taking a 30-second break. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so let's watch the video.
Hello, my name is Gene Gilmore. My birth given name is Eugene Reuben Akers. I don't want any money for what I'm doing because hopefully this video won't come out until after my death. So I have nothing to gain, nothing to profit by telling you what I'm going to tell you. And a lot of what I'm going to tell you is available online until they see this video. And I'm sure things will start getting scrubbed, as well as moon photos. But anyway, my father in 1968 was stationed at Cannon Air Force Base in New Mexico. I made notes on my computer so that I wouldn't forget anything, because there's a lot of little things and stuff that I forget. So these notes were made a long time ago. The original recording that my father made on his deathbed was destroyed in a fire. So this is my deathbed confession, because now I'm dying of cancer. I've got cancer all over the place, and they don't know where it's coming from, and I don't know if they can stop it, but it don't look good. So I'm going to go ahead and make this video for Bart Cybral. He knows not to do anything with it until notification of my death, for which my son will respond to that. Okay. Like I said, in 1968, my father was stationed at Cannon Air Force Base in New Mexico. We lived in Clovis, New Mexico. He was in the military police for over 20 years. And on his deathbed in 2002, we made a recording of what happened. Now, I already told you what happened to the recording. But it doesn't matter, because all the facts are there. So it doesn't matter who's telling the story or whatever. I will, at the end of the video, I'll supply a picture of my father, his badge.
Yeah, so it's just 14 minutes. Apparently, this is a confession, a moon landing hoax confession. So it should be very interesting to check out. So the people are asking, that's what it is. Apparently, a lot of, the government's coming after them. So, the government comes after you when you're completely lying, making stuff up, and none of it's true. You know how it goes. They would never, ever do it to actually hide something they did wrong. That would never happen.
The flag of when they buried him, I'll show you some photos of my dad. I was born in 1955. So in 1969, I was 14 years old. I vividly remember the Apollo 11 coming down, landing on the moon. They're walking around and all that stuff. Anyway, I never questioned that until my dad told me what he told me on his deathbed. And then I started doing a little, nothing major, nothing, just surfing the web. I think they call it surfing the web. And a lot of that information is right there on the web. I mean, it verifies the story that he told me. A good detective, a good one, would be able to uncover a lot more of the story than I'm getting ready to tell you. So please have at it. I've never known my dad to lie. To get caught lying was worse than whatever it was you did to begin with. I remember going to school with long sleeve shirts on to hide the purple welts. You did not lie in our house, that's for sure. Dad had a really bad attitude towards lying. Excuse me again. Okay. Anyway, this is
Hearsay is not evidence, but you all are gullible and will believe anything, won't you? Let me just address this. This is coming from a person who will literally believe whatever the mainstream tells them, whatever NASA says. When they said that Polaris was 400 something light years away, then they updated and said, never mind, it's 323 light years. They immediately believed the new number. If they were alive for the entire span of this heliocentric model, they would have been right there believing every update to the distance to the sun. They will believe everything they say when they come out and they say that James Webb is debunking our current version of the expansion of space. They will come out, they will believe the brand new theory that tries to incorporate dark matter and dark energy. They will literally believe anything that they say. Whenever we're talking about the moon landing, it's like, oh, they accidentally destroyed and lost the telemetry data. They'll come up with an excuse as to how it happened. Oh, someone accidentally took it home and then got rid of it at a garage sale. And they'll automatically believe it. Every single thing. Everything. So ironically, of course, everyone knows this. They're the ones that are gullible, right? Like, they will literally believe whatever the official story is and whatever they come out with to try to, damage control, the mistakes being found out. Whatever they'll do or whatever they'll say will be believed by these people. Okay. And so that's like a religion. It's like, these are the people that hate religion and they hate God and stuff like that. But really what they hate is the idea of moral accountability, objective moral standards, a linear code of ethics. That's what they hate. And they're in fear of it. And therefore, intrinsically, they hate truth. They only like whatever coincides with what they want to believe. And when there is someone like that, you can do nothing with them, right? So just understand it. It's like, look at them kind of like a child, you know, like they know not what they do. They're like a child. So that's kind of what it is. I actually preface this video by saying I've never seen it. I'm not claiming any validity or lack thereof or any proof of anything. So you just got to like, you got to understand, like, they want to suck your energy. So just ignore them. It's literally the move. It's just to ignore them. They need to be like, I wouldn't say excommunicated, because they're very good for one thing, and that's to show people that are not familiar with a lot of this stuff, to show them like how insane the other side of it is. So they're useful to us. All right, let's continue the video.
This is a story that my dad told me on his deathbed. Project Slam Dunk was the name of this. President Johnson in 1968, okay? In Cannon Air Force Base in 1968, he said by the time he got there, that there was already 2 large hangars that were connected. There was hundreds of dump trucks that came in and dumped sand and stone, and cement powder was powdered over the top of all that to make it look like a lunar landscape. They had men that fashioned it into a lunar landscape, he said. Okay, I've never known my dad to lie, so this all took me by surprise. You know, what's that all about? So anyway, he said that in front of the airplane hangars was pole framing with large canvas tents that was concealing the inside of the staging area. Inside the staging area, on flatbed trucks, was created the lunar lander that was reassembled back inside the hangars. All of the walls were painted flat black, and the ceilings as well. He was sworn to secrecy by the NSA, and they would put him in prison for breaking that oath. When Dad saw the moon landing on TV, he cried. He said he knew.
Shouts out to Bob for becoming a miswit. Hey, thank you, Bob, for becoming a miswit, signing up to become a member, brother. Much love. How do you make something look like a lunar landscape when no one knows what a lunar landscape looks like? I guess you just have free reign to do whatever you want, I guess. All right, let's go back to the video.
That what he had witnessed on TV was exactly what they recorded in that hangar. There was no reason for them to go flying around and everything. They had detailed high-definition photos of the landing area. There was no reason for them to go flying around to a different landing area that almost exhausted their fuel, except for drama, because everything had gone so smoothly. Nothing, you know, so it had to be something. Anyway, Dad was one of 3 guards that guarded the inside of the front entrance. There was a list of 15 people who could enter. No one else was allowed by order of President Johnson. And here is that list. And I gave it to Bart Seibel as well. And he checked out a lot of these names, and he says he can verify a lot of these people and what they do. And I come across a couple myself. Anyway, President Johnson, Neil Armstrong, Edwin Aldrin, Werner von Braun, Robert Emenegger, Gene Kranz, James Webb, Joe Kerwin, Dr. Thomas Paine, Glenn Looney, Dr. Christopher Kraft, Dr. James Van Allen, General Trudeau, Lieutenant Colonel Donald Simon, and Grant Norrie. Now, the only two that I really have information on is Robert Emmeniger. Apparently, he did a lot of video work and stuff for the Department of Defense. So the DoD did know him, okay? And the other one was Grant Norrie, Norray, I believe, was to the best of my dad's knowledge, was a like some FBI, CIA, NSA, who knows, something like that. Okay, President Johnson only showed up for the first day of filming. Filming lasted for 3 days, and the entire project was restored to original. In other words, the hangars were all taken apart, the sand was all removed, and so on and so forth. Okay. Dad said there was a lot of building going on at the base, so at the time, so sand and cement powder was never questioned. I can see how they could smuggle that all in within everything else that's going on. Since 2002, I have dug up at...
My honest opinion so far is this guy seems like he doesn't really care if you believe him. Like, he's like, whatever, bro. I'm just saying it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think if this was going to happen, it would be something like this where someone just like, just saying it, like not with this eager need to convince you or anything. You know?
So sand and cement powder was never questioned. I can see how they could smuggle that all in within everything else that's going on. Since 2002, I have dug up, I already told you about that, the evidence for the moon landing that I have found. If you go to Google and go to Cannon Air Force Base website, they admit that President Johnson was there. The lunar lander was there. The astronauts were there. I also have verified some of the people on the list were there. I also verified...
It says Canon AFB removed this from their website shortly after this investigation started.
There are a lot of building going on in the base, just as he had told me. And all of this was going on at the same time, on the same date. Dad told me all these things, father to son. He also told me not to ever tell anyone what he had said, but he said on his deathbed that he had to tell somebody before he died because it was just too important not to tell. I sure as hell wasn't going to tell anybody. Yeah, I feared for my wife and me and my son, and I'll tell you why. Ever since I contacted Bart Sabrell, I think they may be listening to his phone once in a while, because I never had any problems until I contacted him and told him my story. Now, people broke into my house 2 times. I was visited by men with black suits, and I was told in no uncertain terms to drop this whole project, not to say anymore to anybody, or me and my wife and my son could disappear. You take that pretty literally after everything that's going on. Well, so I stopped contacting Bart, and now I'm making this video that I'm going to send to Bart. Mr. Sabrell, excuse me. Bart's my brother, man. My brother in heart, my brother in Jesus, okay? Bart, being a good friend that he is, called the police for me and told them about the break-ins. The 2 detectives that came out and everything questioned me and everything like that, I didn't give them any information at all. At the time, I thought it was a test from them guys in the black suits. I didn't say crap. So all that went away and everything, but it definitely, the 2 guys in the black suits were not the 2 detectives that came out to question me about the break-ins. But thanks, Bart. But no, I don't want any help. I just want somebody to pick up where I left off and be able to prove with the information I've given. And I'm trying to give as much as I can because I know that once I die, I'm not going to be able to be asked any questions. So that's why I tried to give you a little backstory too. But that's about all I can think of. My dad, he raised me by the book. I know he didn't lie to me. And as I started seeing more and more of what he was telling me was true, I realized my dad wasn't lying.
I lifted the lid off my dad's case, and you can see that his name is Cyrus Eugene Akers. He was born on July 17th, 1933. He died on September 28th, 2002. Here's his badge, and I wanted to see if I could get as close as possible so that you can read the numbers on the bottom, which are, okay, there it is. (07596)
D
07596. That's my dad. And it must have been a really early picture because he's only got 2 stripes. So that was back in the 50s, I'm sure. Probably not long after I was born. And there he is. That's my father.
My dad, he raised me by the book. I know he didn't lie to me. And as I started seeing more and more of what he was telling me was true, I realized my dad wasn't lying.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I've never seen that. It's pretty interesting. I mean, obviously, I don't need this guy's testimony to know that the moon landing is bogus. So we're going to cover one more thing, and then I'm going to open up the lines. I guess there's allegedly more of him talking or something. I don't know. Never seen it. Pretty interesting, though. That guy seemed pretty genuine to me. He doesn't seem like he really cares if you believe him or not. So, all right, I want to share this. I'm going to read through some of this, and then we'll just chat about it. All right. The space program has been remarkably free from fatalities, except Gus Grissom, that is. ᴅᴇᴏ Grissom was the most popular of the astronauts and the most outspoken critic of the space program. There was no way the bad guys were going to let someone like Lieutenant Colonel Grissom walk around, exposing their lies and incompetence, so they took him out, allegedly. Let's see. Gus Grissom was the 3rd person to fly into space, quote unquote, and NASA tried to kill him on his first flight. After he splashed down in the Atlantic Ocean, his capsule's hatch mysteriously blew open. He was lucky to survive the attempt on his life, jumping into choppy waters as the spacecraft began to sink. Water filled his heavy spacesuit and a helicopter airlifted the drowning hero. This is a video of it, I guess.
Everything about the takeoff and flight is perfect. A bigger window gives the captain such a view he fell behind on his cockpit checks. He controls the flight of his capsule, as did Commander Shepard, something the Russian astronaut did not do. His flight carries him 118 miles aloft and 303 miles downrange. During the 16-minute flight, he hits a top speed of 5,280 miles an hour. Helicopters take off from the carrier Randolph to pick up astronaut and capsule as his parachute is sighted. then the heartbreaking finale. As Captain Grissom prepares to leave the Mercury, the explosive bolts let go and blow off the escape hatch cover. While the helicopter tries vainly to keep the capsule afloat, Grissom is forced to swim clear of the whirling blades so that another craft can pick him up. He's underwater for 3 minutes, an intense, real-life drama.
Anyway, it was later proven that Grissom did not blow the hatch, but the government smeared the brave astronaut, claiming he had panicked and ruined their property. Meanwhile, the Secret Service placed him and his family under watch. There's a picture. Grissom was not only a hero of great integrity, but a family man who loved to spend a quiet evening at home. Despite a hectic schedule, he worked with his children, worked while his children slept, so he could play with them, just as I did. Come on, man. He also shared his concerns openly and honestly with his wife, saying, if there was ever a serious accident in NASA, it would probably involve him. Like me, his family believed conspirators murdered him. Training for Apollo 1 as foul smells emerged from his oxygen system and communications failed, Grissom asked, how are we going to get to the moon if we can't talk between 2 or 3 buildings? He called the module a bucket full of screws, and he picked a lemon from his backyard, tying it to the spacecraft as a joke. Unauthorized, he held an impromptu press conference criticizing the space program, in which he said it would take another 10 years to fly to the moon. Working with NASA and USAF, CIA assassinated Lieutenant Colonel Grissom. During an on-ground simulation, a spark under his seat ignited a fire that engulfed the entire capsule. NASA claimed the fire burned toxic chemicals, causing the astronauts to die within a minute. Some say cyanide gas was employed against the men. Others say the crew struggled to open the hatch for a full 5 minutes. Whether they burned alive or whether the fire covered their use of poison remains an open question. Okay, communication break for about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's see if this. Oh, man. Yeah, right. 30 minutes. Thomas Ronald Barron, a quality control and safety inspector for North American Aviation, the primary contractor to build the Death Trap, wrote a 55-page report detailing the shortcomings of the space program. He testified to Congress that under then the current circumstances at NASA, we would never make it to the moon. After Grissom's murder, Barron worked to expand his report to 500 pages. That week, CIA killed him and his family too when a train struck their car. Oh man, what a coincidence. CIA set out to smear Barron just as they had smeared Grissom, performing no autopsy. The government claimed that the program's strongest critic had raced his car across the tracks, that he was mentally unstable, and that he was trying to commit suicide as he drove with his wife and his stepdaughter. Then they destroyed his longer report. So he wrote a report criticizing it, saying we wouldn't be able to go to the moon, and then he just died, and they said, oh, he was mentally unstable, so he just died. Let's see.
Thomas Ronald Barron was a safety inspector during Apollo 1's construction. After the fire, Barron testified before Congress that the Apollo program was in such disarray that the United States would never make it to the moon. He claimed his opinions made him a target.
Has there been any pressure on you by NASA? Nothing. We were, my wife and I were somewhat harassed at home when this first thing broke some time back, but it's gone away now.
As part of his testimony, Barron submitted a 500-page report detailing his findings. Then exactly 1 week after he testified, Barron's car was struck by a train. Barron, his wife, and stepdaughter were killed instantly.
I believe that Thomas Ronald Barron was murdered because he had the truth to tell about the Apollo project.
Barron's report mysteriously disappeared, and to this day, it has never been found.
Okay, so whether you want to explain it away or not, that is sus on its face. This guy wrote a report criticizing the Apollo program and how he said it wouldn't work. And then shortly after, he died getting hit by a train. And then they retracted the longer report, and no one's ever got to see it. Probably just a coincidence. Okay. What is this? Too long. No one asked questions about Grissom or Barron, while CIA brands critics as conspiracy theorists, a term coined in their memo regarding the Kennedy assassination, countering criticism of the Warren Report. Here it says, did you know the term conspiracy theorist was a term made popular by the CIA to stop critical thinkers from asking questions about the JFK assassination? In a memo called Countering Criticism of the Warren Report, the CIA set out to make the term conspiracy theorist weapon to be used against anyone who questioned the government's secret activities and programs. That's how you're branded if you point out that NASA was run by Nazi war criminals like Werner von Braun, who were spirited out of Germany as part of Operation Paperclip. Here you go. Totally normal. Totally legit. There's no way that Nazis would have ever lied at all. And if you think it's even kind of possible that they did to fake the moon landing, you're a conspiracy theorist. It says the Nazis didn't lose. They moved to America. From 45 to 55, Operation Paperclip granted nearly 1,000 German scientists American citizenship. Many had been longtime members of the Nazi Party and the Gestapo and had conducted experiments on humans at concentration camps and committed other war crimes. The scientists ended up in the U.S. military-industrial complex, worked with the CIA, NASA, and more. One of the Nazi experiments that continued in America was mind control, known as the CIA's Project MKUltra. Yeah, totally legit. Here's the magic lunar module made of duct tape and aluminum foil. And yeah, this was on the moon, guys. This was 238,000 miles away on a rock in a vacuum. Perfect success. The first time they attempted it. Look at this, bro. How does a human being not think that this is sketchy? To just be like, oh, it's for sure true. It's so weird. So weird. Look at this thing, dude. Bruh. You gotta be kidding me. You've absolutely gotta be kidding me. Like, to try to make fun of someone because they question this, you're deluded, bro. You know? And to not even question it at all, you're also deluded. Now, like, if someone just never really looked into it, that's different, right? That's the same thing with 9/11. If no one's really looked into all the details, we're not talking about that. We're talking about someone that's heard a lot of the details and pretends they know is all completely legit. So Gus Grissom didn't think so. That's why they killed him. All right, so that's pretty interesting. All right. Now, obviously that doesn't prove anything one way or the other, but for a guy to come out and say, we'll never go to the moon, we can't even communicate in our own buildings, we can't even get past low Earth orbit. He went and hung a lemon on the module, and then he blows up in a mysterious accident where they pumped the module full of oxygen, and then there was some mysterious spark that they never really figured out. And of course, he almost died right before that. So pretty interesting. Okay, I'll do that. I'm about to open up the line. So. Yikes.
Stage pushed. Engine arm is out. Okay, I'm going to get the pro. 99, proceeded. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Right away, Houston. Regs are good. Ag saw it. Pitch over. Roger, you have good thrust.
Yeah.
Okay, 30 seconds. 308, your number. Take coming through 1,500 feet, and H-dot looks good.
And you know what they were thinking? They were like, they'll be like, no, they'll think there's no way they faked this. Look how high this thing went up. Where are they doing this? You know, look how dumb that looks, bro.
Okay, I'm going to get the pro. 99, proceeded. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Right away, Houston. Regs are good. Ag saw it.
Someone's saying he says doesn't prove anything. He admits he has nothing. First of all, the positive claim is that we went to the moon 238,000 miles away. We're successful the first time. That's the positive claim. That we went into a vacuum of space and we flew up there in like this little like aluminum foil tweaker hut. You gave some like meth head a Home Depot card, and then they built the lunar module for you, and then it went 250,000 miles, was successful the first time, and landed on the moon. That's the positive claim. I need actual legitimate proof of that, and we don't have it. You're asking me to prove that we didn't go? Like, what a ridiculous. You can't prove negatives. That's very dumb. And like someone said, it's called a preponderance of evidence. Exactly. That's it's called wisdom. I don't want to convince you if you've seen all of it. Straight up, I don't want to convince you. I don't want you over here.
Okay, let's go there. Capcom on the hot fire. Okay, all flight controllers going around the horn. Go for undocking. Okay, retro, go. Fido, go. Guide, go. Control, go. Telcom, go. Jinsei, go. Ecom, go. Surgeon, go. Capcom, we're go for undocking.
Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins arrived at the moon on Saturday, July 19th.
Well, we did get close, and we rolled out and saw it for the first time. It was a revelation. It was gigantic. It filled our entire window.
The next day, Sunday, July 20th, was landing day.
And a lot of anticipation. We finally come to the day, the moment that this is about to commence.
Landing on the moon was absolutely the most difficult piece of any Apollo mission, okay? Think about it as a controlled fall out of lunar orbit. The problem is, in this controlled fall out of orbit, you only have enough fuel for one try.
Capcom, we're go for landing. Altitude 4,200. Houston, you're go for landing, over.
The trajectory had been wrong. They were targeted into this inhospitable place. Then they had to fly over this area at a high forward velocity, then pitch up to slow down so that kill that forward velocity, and then start down like a helicopter. So now we're critical fuel state, and that's why they're given. And then the 30-second call.
Then I really got nervous, was calling out 25 seconds of fuel left, and then 20 seconds of fuel.
All right, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know about you guys, but that was incredibly boring.
Apollo 11, this is the launch operations manager. The launch team wishes you a good luck and Godspeed.
Call in after this. I'll drop the link in a couple seconds.
Thank you very much. No, it'll be a good one.
Three minutes, 25 seconds and counting. We're still go at this time. We'll be coming up in the automatic sequence about 10 or 15 seconds from this time. All still go at this time. Neil Armstrong reported back when he received the good wishes. Thank you very much. We know it will be a quick flight.
Firing command coming in now. We are on the automatic sequence. We're approaching the 3-minute mark on the count.
T-minus 3 minutes and counting. T-minus 3. We are go with all elements of the mission at this time. We're on an automatic sequence.
Equally as boring. All right. Well, okay, let's do this. Let's see if it actually shows the footage. That's what I was trying to see anyway. Look, there's no way they could have faked it. Look at all these people that would have had to been in on it. Look at all these people right here.
2 minutes, 10.
And they literally admitted that, like, they couldn't tell. They said this, that they couldn't tell the difference in the real or a fake one from that room. Yeah, you don't say.
Seconds and counting. All three stages here at the last minute to prepare it for liftoff. 60 seconds and counting. Past T-minus 60. 55 seconds and counting. Neil Armstrong just reported back. It's been a real smooth countdown. We passed the 50-second mark. Power transfer is complete. We're on internal power with the launch vehicle at this time.
40 seconds away from the Apollo 11 liftoff.
All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still go with Apollo 11. 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds.
Of course, conveniently, they all entered underneath it, so you didn't even see people go in it.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Cue the music.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Power clear.
Yeah, guys, that totally went to the moon. All right, so we'll play this 50-second clip right here. Most of you guys have seen it, and then I'm gonna open up the. I know I keep saying that, but I'm about to drop the link in the chat.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen,
I was muted, sorry. The apologists say that we take that out of context, and he wasn't saying that. That he wasn't saying what he just said. We took it out of context, and what he really meant was that he was talking about we haven't gone back. She says, "Why haven't we gone back?" And he said, "I that's my question. I think I know why. Because we didn't go there, and that's how it happened." And what he was actually saying was, we did go there. That's their actual argument, bro. When they call us a liar.
Has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
that's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. But I think I know. Because we didn't.
Was he drunk? Probably, yeah. He was an alcoholic. He was all that guilt. All right. So I'm about to drop the link. You guys can come on and chat. Obviously won't be opening up the lines for anyone trying to defend this nonsense. So. And there's the link. There it is again. Yeah, crazy stuff, man. You know, they destroyed all the technology. Totally legit. None of them would take the $5,000 check to put their hand on the Bible and swear that they went to the moon. Seems legit, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Lowry?
Let me mute this whole. I'm gonna mute you here. Hold on a second. What's up? How you doing, man?
Brother? Pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, that was a big one. The he framed it so that he could say, well, in context, we didn't go. But an old story in my family was my granddad would never talk about the war. The Veterans Day in the United States started in Emporia, Kansas, and the VFW there started by the Lowry Funston Post, which is what it was called, and they would not talk about. They wouldn't talk about the war. That was like one of the rules that they wouldn't talk about. They wouldn't talk about the war. And I'm 8 years old, and you know, because I've grown up on the globe, right? You know, and I'm in school and all this stuff, and he says it's flat, and I remember him saying it's flat. This is like 1984. I would have been 8 years old, and of course I thought he was fucking insane. You know, I thought he was crazy. I was like, what are you talking about? It's flat, whatever. Well, this is a guy that served on a carrier in the South Pacific, and, you know, somebody that's, you know, observing directly in first person how water works, how you triangulate targeting positions. And I'm now starting to understand why he wouldn't talk about it, because he was afraid to talk about it. He didn't want to come across as being a crazy person. You know, and this is in the 80s. In the 80s.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so, you know, what we're talking again, this is not new news to people that are listening to your stream tonight. But it's going to be new news to a lot of people soon. And I'm watching it as it comes through day to day. I'm watching to see how many people are actually, like, even in New York City, where people are too cool to talk about this kind of subject. I'm seeing people coming out. I had the other night, I left a bar. I went to hang out with some people at a bonfire. And it was 9:10, but then it got to be 9:11, and someone says, hey, it's 9:11, you know, and it just came into the consciousness, and someone says, oh yeah, and jet fuel doesn't melt steel. And immediately, because I usually, when I get in these conversations, I'm not going to do any of this shit. I'm not going to do conspiracy stuff because they're not going to be used to it. Well, somebody else said it. I'm like, yeah, well, jet fuel doesn't melt steel. And then I just gutturally, intuitively said, yeah, I know, and water lays flat. And then a girl on the other side of the bonfire says, yeah, it's flat. Why are we even fucking with this? And these are hipsters in New York City. Hipsters in New York City who will not even, they will not come out and say this stuff. Said it right there. I was like, okay, that was a big telltale sign for me that even though we're not understanding or we're not getting like what's happening in what we call the Great Awakening, what I think called the Great Awakening, it's actually happening. It's happening, and it's happening in real time. There's a lot of people that are afraid to talk about it.
That's awesome, bro. I agree, actually. I think a lot of people are working out. What's up, Mr. Anderson?
How's it going, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah. How's it going?
I boomered my way through it a little bit there. So
nice.
Just got
Hi, Mr. Anderson.
How's it going, Laurie?
I'm good.
Nice
I had a great reflection back Austin when we had our big debate with the guy in I think it was at last Flattoberfest we went to. Do you remember that? We were sitting at the table and the guy came out and we basically debated with that guy for, I don't know, it was 2 hours. Do you remember that?
I don't remember. Oh, was it where we were eating?
You were eating, and the guy came out and basically he was like a city councilman.
Oh, yeah.
And he went home and studied up, you know, on the heliocentric model. And then he also studied up on the Constitution when he left, came back, and then we proceeded to crush the guy.
Yeah, the guy that got pissed that I was doing the activism.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Shout out to Latter-day Saints and Vader. What's up, homies?
What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
You're muted.
I'm
Still
muted.
can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
How
I
you
heard
doing?
you.
All
What's
right.
up, Latter-day Saints? I hear you.
Now I'm unmuted.
There you go.
I always have to touch the button. I was just going to say, hey, everyone, for those that are on the Zadok calendar and are celebrating Feast of Trumpets, happy Rosh Hashanah, everyone.
Indeed.
Nice. You guys down to watch this video?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
We'll have to rely on space instead.
The problem is the moon. The problem is the moon.
We don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology in a nanosecond. We don't have the technology to do that anymore, and it's a painful process to build it back again. I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond, build it back again, build it back again, build it back again, build it back again. We used to build it back again, build it back again, build it back again, build it back again.
We used to
build it back again, build it back again, build it back again, build it back again. In a nanosecond, destroyed that technology, destroyed that technology, build it back.
What a
again,
banger, bro.
Build it back again, build it back again.
It's the OG troll. They're the best at trolling.
Real fast, what do you guys think about him saying that to the little girl?
I think there was a lot of guilt. I think you've got 50 years of guilt and drunkenness, and that was the best he could do. I think all these cats that are in this whatever heliocentric cult they're in, they eventually break down. And I think he's breaking down. I think Buzz is breaking down. He's been drinking for 50 years, lying about something he didn't do. And, they're letting him do it, it seems. I don't know. What do you guys
got
think?
there, Mr. Anderson?
This is, I'm waiting for him to finish, though. I was just showing his bio, Buzz's bio. So this is, go ahead, Larry. What were you saying?
Yeah, my bad, bro.
I was just saying, I think that you're looking at 50 years of built up guilt. And I don't think he wants to do it anymore. I think he's locked into a contract with whatever he sold himself out to for the heliocentric inversion, and now we're seeing him sort of break. I've seen him at several events where he's shit-faced drunk in front of a ton of people, and I don't think there's anywhere else for him to go. He's painted into a corner, and the only thing he can do for his personal karma is to say it the best he can. And he's saying it very carefully. You can tell, the context of what he's saying is we didn't go, but he can always go back on it and say, well, we didn't go this way, we didn't go that. No, he's saying we didn't go.
Right, I agree.
That's what he's saying.
Real quick, I just wanted to say, I think it has something to do with the innocence of the child. He's looking down at this child, and he can't lie to that child. I think there was an inner conflict there, and that's why he said that the way he said it, to make it all kind of in code.
I think I see what you're saying. It would be harder to lie straight to the girl. Mr. Anderson, what you got for us?
Well, I was going to show you this. This is actually something I actually bought 10 years ago, because I already knew that the whole space thing was Freemasonic back before I knew about the globe line and all that. I thought it was just they were hiding the real moon or some dumb shit like that. A lot of us probably thought things like that, though. It is what it is. But I don't know if you're familiar with New Age magazine, but it's how Freemasons would do. It was kind of like a newsletter. This is the 32-degree Buzz Aldrin edition. 1969 November. I should have showed you a couple more just for context, but you basically have to be a 32-degree or higher to publish in this. It's how they communicated with each other. So this was the actual Buzz Aldrin edition. I'm not gonna read the actual articles and stuff, but right here, if you look at the team, we got the team, the whole Freemasonic team. We got the Freemasonic bio. We got Aldrin right there. Brother Aldrin is a member of the Clear Lake Lodge, number 1417, AF&M, Seabrook, Texas, member of the Houston, Texas Scottish Rite Bodies. Leroy Gordon. We got the bios here. So the people want to say that Freemasonry has nothing to do with the Apollo missions. Give me a break.
I mean, it's all over. It's all over all of it. It's all over everything. Even the names of their missions they're all clearly, they're sun worshippers.
You can see it clearly. You're right. Unfortunately, Grisham's distinguished career came to an end on the tragic event January 27, 1967, while conducting a launch pad test at Cape Kennedy, Florida, in preparation for the now successful Apollo moonshot. He was probably taking that moon shot and was like, "This is bullshit. I'm not doing this." That's just random ass speculation I threw out there.
Yeah, someone said something in the chat.
Like,
Yeah,
what?
in Toy Story, Buzz can't fly. But Buzz can't fly. That's pretty funny.
It's a constant joke on all of us.
And you need another one?
So if you look, I'm not going to go through all of them, but it does have the bio on all of them. It shows, like, it even has the fake moon landing pictures and stuff. Like, in the beginning, look at the titles of the articles. In the beginning, written by William Blaine, 33-degree Mason. But they even have, like, articles about Freemasonry being the catalyst for science. Look, Freemasonry in the space age. This was written by Kleinchek himself, 33-degree. So look at the back, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's a trip. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, this is a rare edition. I actually bought it like 10 years ago, but
well, if you want to walk the slow walk between like what we're living in, which is an inversion, they did a near perfect inversion of reality. That's what they had to do. This is the world that we live in. I don't know if you guys have studied dualism or any of that stuff. You know, like you can't experience happiness unless you've experienced pain, right?
Yep.
You know, and I guess what we're operating right at the yin and the yang, where we can see what it is. It has to be an inversion. You wouldn't have an experience if it wasn't an inversion, and that sucks for me at least. Like, I don't like to be lied to. You know, and I don't think anyone else in this broadcast here likes to be lied to either. We're on one side of the yin and the yang, but it's necessary at some level, but at the same time that we can see the evil of it or the deception of it is also. We've been blessed with eyes to see and ears to hear. I guess, does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Austin, can you blow up my thing real quick just to show you this picture, and then I'll set this down. I want to show you this just because it's this is all the 33 degrees that were in Congress at the time coming together.
Does anyone know how to do that?
It don't matter because it's gonna be hard to see anyway.
Bow. There you go.
Oh, shit. I think I lost it. If I don't go right back to it, just jump back.
No, you're good. We're gonna wait. I didn't even know you could do that. That's pretty cool.
Oh, right here.
The club.
33 degrees. So it's like, it's just funny to me. They got the whole Freemasonic team for the Apollo missions. They got the people running the Gemini program and everything, writing articles right there. So it's a joke when people try to make fun of people and say, "Oh, you're going to tell me that the Apollo missions were Freemasonic?" Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about too, it's very basic level. There was an absolute, I don't think manifesto is the right word, but when you start a business, what is it? You say this is what the business is getting up to.
Mission
Their
statement.
ultimate, not a manifest, but
business plan, a
vision statement, mission statement.
Mission statement. You know, what they did was basically they had to, we absolutely have to make the sun the center. And then they re-engineered it backwards. They re-engineered the whole damn system backwards from the sun being the center. And that's where they get fucked up. And that's where we've caught them. Because it's easy to see, once you start re-engineering something backwards, you can see all the errors in it. You know, certainly like the parallax error in stars, like the stars should be moving according to their model in various ways that they're not moving. We catch it every single time, you know, but they expected no one to look, and we actually fucking looked.
All right. Yeah, let's watch this. It's just 2 minutes.
Oh, is this when he makes that face?
Yeah, watch. If anyone hasn't seen it, just watch Buzz Aldrin in the background. Watch all his reactions while Trump says all this. Of course, obviously keeping in mind the context that they faked going to the moon. They never went.
Today, we're taking a crucial step to secure America's future in space by reviving the National Space Council after it has been dormant almost 25 years, if you can believe it. During the campaign, Vice President Pence promised that our administration because Mike's very much into space, would revive the National Space Council. And with this executive order, we're keeping that promise. Feel very strongly about it. I felt strongly about it.
Bro, look at this dude. He's like,
know.
what are you talking
That
about?
our administration, because Mike's very much into space, would revive the National Space Council. And with this
So what do you
executive
think he
order,
means? What do you think he means by that? Do you think like, is he
feel very
trying
strongly-
to?
I felt strongly about it for a long time. I used to say before doing what I did, I used to say, what happened? Why are
What
we
is he
moving
doing?
forward?
Why would he be doing all this?
I felt strongly about it for a long time. I used to say before.
This dude's crazy.
He kind of reminds me of like when you're feeding baby food and you're like opening your mouth as they're opening.
America's proud legacy of leadership in space.
Uh-huh.
Human soul yearns for discovery by unlocking the mysteries.
Oh, that was a good look right there.
We unlock truths within our soul yearns for discovery by unlocking the mysteries of the universe. We unlock truths within ourselves. That's our journey into space will not only make us stronger and more prosperous, but will unite us behind grand ambitions and bring us.
It's like he's tripping balls, man.
Yeah,
Like,
he's making
he took-
faces over
he
and
took
over
a-
again.
He took
That
like
is what it looks like.
LSD right before he got up
Yo,
there. Or
he-
something.
Definitely. What
So
it
like
looks
what?
Look at him rolling his eyes,
I
too.
know.
It's like,
You believe that space is going to do
You hear this
Belly
guy?
is
Oh
full
yeah,
of
that's a
himself.
good one.
yeah.
Oh,
He's in
Every
the
launch
building.
into the skies
Oh,
is
look what he
another
did.
step forward toward a future where our differences seem small against the vast expanse of our common humanity.
What? Like you see, he was like waiting. Wait, what is he gonna say right here?
Order to see the real truth. It is America's destiny to be at the forefront of humanity's eternal quest for knowledge and to be the leader amongst nations on our adventure into the great unknown. And I could say the great and very beautiful.
He's like a movie
unknown.
character.
Nothing more beautiful. With the actions we're launching today, America will think big. once again.
The nod of approval.
Big. We haven't been thinking so big for a long time, but we're thinking big again. As
Too funny, bro.
That's great. It's like watching one of us watching Trump,
All right.
just on display.
could be infinity. We really don't know that, but it could be.
Could be infinity, he says.
Yeah, but we really don't know. Oh, science. Yeah, I think that's so funny. Like, I think the official story is they just didn't like Trump or something. Like he's not a Trump fan, or I don't know. They got
The media played it up to like he's just, you know, the media loved to like whatever would hurt Trump. I don't know who Trump is. I've never met the dude. He might be a dick. I don't fucking know. But it's like they played it up that way, spun it that way, and then you know but you have to understand, it's like it's so easy to see it now. It's so simple. It's like if you want to invert an entire situation, the thing that you walk around in, we're walking around in this place that we have 2 feet, we're bipedals, and we walk around the, you know, and do stuff and love each other and, you know, do what we do wandering around down here.
That well.
If you want to invert it, you curve it. And that's what they did. They just curved it. And what you're seeing is like, you're seeing a battle between the inversion. I mean, we were right at the mark. We're right at the mark. We're like, I think all of us, at least in the FE community, we're right at the place where the rubber meets the road. So there's people that are on this side, there's people on this side. Some of them believe some of it, some believe some of it this way, whatever. Like, at least our community, at least what I'm experiencing, is that we're seeing right where it's being fucked with. It doesn't make any sense. You know, it's like, how else do you invert a flat and closed system? You curve it and make it endlessly out. That's 100% an inversion, right? In 3D?
Yep. You just reverse engineer it.
And so now we can see it now, and we can see globe. You know, you watch every single damn, if you watch screens anymore, you watch every single damn thing, you can see globe reinforcement everywhere. Once you can see it, you can't unsee it. You know, they're curving your mind. They're making, and also there's the other side of it too. if they can get you to believe that you're spinning, you're easily manipulative. They're going to manipulate you because you're in fear. You're spinning, but we're not spinning.
Yeah,
The only person that's working, we're walking around. We're the only thing that's moving. Earth isn't.
Black Royalty says, Trump and JFK introducing space programs to the public. Coincidence? Dude, I did a video like saying, is Trump our JFK a couple years ago? And the similarities, like the parallels are wild. Where they prop the guy up that comes in, he's got Jesuit training. And he's like the good guy, and he's not a normal politician. And they put him at the front of the space program. Trump's obviously 100% in the club. Like, there's no way around it.
I was actually going to say back in 2016, I was one of those people that like saw the kind of our choices. And I actually thought for a while, I was like, no, watch, Trump's actually a flat earther. He's going to come out and, prove it for everyone. And then once he went to the started talking about the Space Force, I was like, okay, now I know where this guy's at.
Yeah, I mean, he shut the world down, and the world shut down under him.
And then right after that, you had the beer bug.
Yeah. Let's watch the little one.
Yeah.
Tiny little Earth.
Well, I kind of have two moons in my head, I guess, whereas most people just have one moon. I look at the moon just like everybody else.
You have a double broadcast going on here.
I think that's how they edit the video.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't see how that could be happening.
They started off like an acid trip.
It is, and I've always thought it was.
Yeah.
Are you hearing it too?
Is it going through your mic or something?
Well, I don't know why it would be though. I mean, I've been playing all the same videos the same way, right? So it's like.
That's super weird.
Let me see.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
Yeah, it's like he edited
that.
the...
Well, we'll have to rely on space instead.
The problem is the moon. The problem is.
Yeah, there's no echo there.
Yeah, it's totally good.
Second
That's so weird. That's not you then.
Actually, up there.
Science fiction.
Actually, up there.
Science fiction.
Because there's no gravity, you're floating. Because there's no gravity, you're floating.
Science fiction.
Because there's no gravity.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
She's like, what is this guy talking?
Yeah.
We didn't
So good.
go there, and that's the way it happened.
We didn't.
And that's the way it happened. It didn't happen, and that's the way it happened. But make sure you go to school.
Continue to just produce imagery of all types. And the more we put out there, the more real it becomes to everyone. The more we put out there, the more real it becomes to everyone.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is really difficult to believe that it could actually be true. Difficult to believe that this is
The
happening.
terminology is
Difficult to believe sometimes
so
that it's actually
blatant.
happening. Sometimes that is really difficult to believe that it could actually be true.
I mean, are we at a
like Mark
space?
Cuban.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm Don Pettit, NASA astronaut. Space station is a serious place. We have a regenerative life support system, which is a fancy way of saying serious research, scientific research, that we've got a toilet that you use, and then a machine that goes chugga, 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 chug, and then you go to the galley and you make yourself a cup of coffee.
His comedy stands alone.
Serious research, scientific research, and that's exactly what you are thinking it is.
But water is such a precious resource up here that we also are cleaning up our urine and making it drinkable. And it's really not as bad as it sounds.
Better you than
I love that part.
We even recycle our urine.
Yeah.
Before you cringe at
They use the
thought of
same
drinking
hole and
your
stick or
leftover
whatever.
wash water and your leftover urine.
Chugga, 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 chug.
All right, so
Kind of engineering research that we're doing on space station. I want to do some physics demonstrations. Chugga, 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 chug. some eggs. And don't ask me how I got the eggs on space station.
Why is this dude so weird, bro?
On space station.
All right, so we're gonna I'm gonna play just that most people, just in case there's someone that for some reason is watching this and somehow doesn't know the moon landing's fake. Here's a 2-minute clip of someone trying to get the astronauts to swear they went to the moon.
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of it. Saying I misrepresented myself. Away from me. You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's Bart Sibrel, yeah.
Wow.
Astronauts gone wild.
Yeah, most of us.
He was on RV Truth. I don't know if people check it out, but he's not a flat earther. It's weird.
Well, okay. Let me address that. I think he actually. It's impossible that he isn't, but he's not going to ruin his crowd source. Like he's got a bunch of people that like his stuff. He won't go there. I think he's kind of slippery, but I don't know how.
He's not a truther, right? Because if someone's not willing to say the truth because they're feared that their piggy bank is going to get smaller.
Indeed, and I'm of that feeling. But the ultimate, like the bigger topic in this whole thing, is just we can all see it now. What the battle is, it's a battle between heliocentrism and geocentrism. And which probably is, the oldest, religious battle. I don't want to call it religious battle, but the oldest spiritual battle of all time. And the ultimate, inverse engineering of a thing that's obvious to all of us. And we're not spinning. We're walking around in a place that we're just now getting to understand. We're just now getting to understand what this thing is that we're walking around in. I'm never bored. And what they did was they spun it up and made it something else to keep you spinning. And you can see it so clearly.
Well, some people can, man. That's what's so crazy. Like some people, they don't think this is weird right here. They like these astronauts are freaking out. They're just asked to swear they went to the moon. You'd be like, easy money, bro. You'd be like, bet, run that. Yeah, I swear I went to the moon. Let me get my bread. You wouldn't in any way freak out about it.
You want me to knock you in the head?
Well, I want you to swear to God on the Bible that you walked on the moon. If you walked on the moon, we're given the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you if you don't leave me alone.
And then he runs.
So why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Sabro, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
What? Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator in NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight.
I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get
Ooh, yeah. Oh, sensual.
Oh, this is when.
Well, I take your stuff and get the fuck out. Why don't you quote me and say it's bullshit?
When the shadow's in the wrong place, I don't give a damn about all that shit.
Shit of lunar orbit being falsified.
Being falsified?
Correct. We've got an unedited tape from a source at the Johnson Space Center.
That's totally nonsense.
And by the way, he's talking about the video. They are trying to fake the Earth looking like a ball in the window of something up in the air. It's pretty crazy.
Special boy.
Yo, get him. And the crazy part is the instead of just being like, "Damn, I feel so bad," these people go around and expect people to praise them. You know what I mean? That's what's so crazy.
Hey, Austin, I came in about halfway through the show. Did you already play the new video from Bart Sibrel's other guy who his dad worked at that base? Did you already play that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no mind.
Someone's saying
Mr. Seibel, you do not deserve answers.
If you show this publicly, you're open for a lawsuit. Okay?
So real quick on RV Truth Show, he had him on, and one thing that was really interesting that I didn't kind of notice before is when he went in there and met Buzz and told him, I don't know if y'all saw this, but he was like, "We're on ABC something, and Buzz thought that they were ABC, like the news company. So he thought that the news was breaking, that it was fake. That's why he was kind of weird in that interview. And then once he realizes that it's not the same ABC, that's when he turns around and gets violent with his actions and, harsh with his words.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay, that's crazy.
It was called
Digital.
ABC Digital. I see. Question the answer.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Okay. I see.
That's a trip, bro. Yeah, I can't really think of. I used to have all kinds of funny little videos where like it would show Chuck Norris like with a sniper rifle, and every time he shot, it would cut over to like the glitches of them on the moon landing where they'd fall down and then get jerked up. You know what I'm saying? But I can't find like anything anymore.
Are you talking about the ones where they're on the strings and they were like actually hanging over their strings over the dirt?
Yeah, and they keep falling.
Where you can tell they obviously got pulled up, right? Like they defied physics. Where he's like he's on his like chest, and all of a sudden he just goes like up in the air.
I've got some. You'd have to cruise forward in one of my movies, but I can put a link in. It's like, they're just, you can tell that they're hanging from a string. It's like so clear. And then they bounce up and they sort of do a bounce, and then they're back up, which looks clear to me, like they're on strings, but how are you going to explain that to anybody else?
I think I'll see if this one's any good.
What cracks me up is that the moon looks like it's like 100 feet long. That's what kills me. You can see the horizon is like 100 feet away. They're like on a tiny ass moon. It's insane just looking at it.
All right, let's see if this is any good. Oh, I'm not showing it. The music's kind of annoying, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I need something better than that. I can't do it.
Hey, Witzy, did you get the video I sent you earlier in the Discord?
You sent it in Discord?
Well, yeah, because you asked for any videos on the moon landing, so then I clicked on your name and put it in the main chat.
Which one? 24/7?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just put a link. If someone goes to the video I made, you go like 3/4 of the way through to the NASA part. It's going to show like all the stuff where there's strings and people hanging on stuff. So anyway.
You said you put it in the YouTube chat?
Yeah.
Or the private chat? No, I can't. I'm trying to find you, but it's hard to search for your name. You got like weird characters.
You've probably got the same one right here. I mean, it's probably the same stuff. I mean, it's the same footage.
JFK and Obama give same speech.
Yeah. It's the moon landing speech.
Okay.
At some point,
Cool.
I'd love to talk about how the fact that JFK's love partner Lamb just so happened to also be the name of the lander.
Exactly, like his best friend that was openly a homosexual from back in the day, Lim, who lived in the White House with him and his wife. They named the freaking module after that guy.
Astronauts moving in slow motion is another hallmark of the Apollo TV footage. There is no evidence at all of any astronaut making a leap or a jump anywhere near a height commensurate with 1/6G possibilities. But if they were actually simulating EVAs on Earth, they would then need help with their bulky heavyweight suits and backpacks in order to achieve the visual effect of moving around easily in lunar gravity. So enter wire supports. This is a tried and tested way of relieving weight from performers, or even flying an actor. Of course, confirmation that wires were used is in the detail. Here in this Apollo 14 footage, you can see a ping, a momentary glint. And again, run slowly. And once more.
Wow.
It's just let's flare.
There are other examples too. This one is from Apollo 17 during the flag scene. You can see the ping at the top of the frame.
Wow, that's so blatant.
In this footage from Apollo 16, we have telltale evidence of a slightly floating or dangling effect at the jump salute location. It's as if the weight is being taken off the astronaut's feet just a second or so too soon. Compare that sequence with an obvious rehearsal rig. The dangling effect is very evident. And here again, from the same mission, Apollo 16, we have an astronaut who is about to get up.
Okay, here we go.
This is it.
Let me give you a hand, he says.
What is that? That one right there is like the most ridiculous to me, and that's not even the most egregious one. There's one where he like even worse than this. But this defies physics, right? Am I tripping?
Okay, here we go.
Let me give you a hand, he says.
Bro, he doesn't even help him. It's literally, he doesn't help. Look at his hands.
Look at
They
it again.
never
Yeah,
touch
he
him.
literally does.
The
Yeah, he's
astronaut is
hanging
getting
right
up
there.
with the wire
Hanging right there.
taking
It's
the
like,
weight,
yeah, something
relieving
pulled him out.
5/6 of the Earth's gravity.
Oh, the
A magic
object
trick?
falls at normal
Wait.
speed beside him too.
Relieving
That's a
him. Look
trip.
again. The astronaut is getting up with the wire taking the weight,
Dropped the snot rag.
relieving him of 5/6 of the Earth's.
Bro, what
It's
is
so
going?
bad. It's so bad, and it's not even. This stuff is not even the worst of it. But it's
Taking
just
the
like
weight.
this is
There's
obvious.
people in the
Relieving
chat
him of
defending it.
5/6 of the Earth's gravity. A magic trick? No. Just the help of a wireman.
That's pretty wild. All right, let's play one that Saturday Saint sent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how about you guys. I was 13 when I figured this out. As soon as I looked into it.
Well, you're smarter than us, buddy. Smarter than us. But my grandpa did. Oh, this is the famous speech. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they say like a very
for the
similar.
long-range exploration of space, and none will be so difficult or expensive to accomplish.
That the United
Nations
States would send
to achieving the goal of landing
a man
to
the moon
and returning him
safely
to the Earth before this
within the
decade is out.
Wow.
Because
Not because it's
even
easy.
those three. Sure, it's comfortable, but it can't even reach low Earth orbit. That's the story of NASA. And it's a story that started a little more than half a century ago, far from space in a remote and desolate region of what is now called Kazakhstan. Because it was from there that the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, the first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth, which was little more than a few pieces of metal with a transmitter and a battery strapped to the top of a missile. But the world was stunned. Americans were dumbfounded. Many gave their careers to the effort, and some have given far more. In the years that have followed, the space race inspired more than just Tang, and I had to point out, I actually really like sitting on my grandfather's shoulders, waving a flag as stretching beyond what previously did not seem possible. And so as president, I believe sitting on my grandfather's shoulders is not a luxury. It's not an afterthought in America's quest for a brighter future. It is an essential part of that quest. In fact, what was once a global competition is sitting on my grandfather's shoulders, long since become a global collaboration. So let me start by being extremely clear. We start by increasing NASA's budget by $6 billion over the next 5 years.
He's 666 them.
$6 billion NASA's budget by $6 billion over the next 5 years, and sought to make cuts elsewhere in the budget. My budget was one of the areas where we didn't just maintain a freeze, but we actually increased funding by
Space activities.
$6 billion, including a probe of the sun's atmosphere sitting on my grandfather's shoulders.
That's pretty hilarious. Got the Saturday
No
Saints.
single space project in this period
Oh wait, that's
will
the
be more
same one.
impressive to mankind
Wait, let me play
or more
this. This
important
is
for
just
the
a minute
long-range
long.
exploration of space. And none will
Hey, pause.
Are they gonna buy this? Are they? I hope so. Here we go. Oh boy. What did we do? Buzz, why'd you wear that blue suit? Thing's terrible. What are we here for again? Psst, who the heck are you? Where am I? Why are they taking our picture? Do you know? What the heck is going on here? Buzz, why the blue suit? Buzz, what are we even doing here? Do you know Pinhead? They sure took a lot of pictures. Buzz, what's up with the blue suit, dude? Did you say we went to the moon? Yeah.
That's great.
I just want to say how interesting it is that like how similarities there are between like magicians, illusionists, and Freemasonry. You know, like obviously they share common threads, but just like how the fact that what they're really doing is like a big, grand, you know, magical illusion that people just take for real. You know, instead of like, hey, we're gonna make this, you know, elephant disappear, and they do it in 5 seconds, and your mind knows that what you're looking at, the elephant is still there, you just can't see it. They do the opposite with this, where they tell you, like, they say, hey, this is so unbelievable. I know you can't believe this, but it is true.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're talking about again, like the where the rubber meets the road. Like, I don't. You want to wax biblical on it if you want to. We could wax biblical, but it's like you will be deceived. Like when you enter this realm, you will be deceived. It was told in writing. If you choose to read that book, I don't know what what disposition you have insofar as like, your spiritual, but you will be deceived. That was told to us. It was gonna, and this is the inversion, and we're now figuring out that the whole damn thing was inverted. All of it, everything, unless it works for, Power's narrative. If it works for the narrative, then it might be true. But they inverted everything. They turned it all upside down, and it's funny, almost like look. The devil actually has a sense of humor, whether or not we want to deal with this dude or not. Whatever he is, whatever the opposite side of good is, he has a sense of humor. And he's fucking funny. And once you see it, it's kind of entertaining to watch, even though I wouldn't recommend pursuing whatever path that is set up over there. Does that make any sense?
I think it's like funny in this, or like entertaining as sense as like watching a car wreck happen. Like,
indeed,
you wanna look at the car wreck, right? But I don't know if I would say he's funny. I see him more of a special boy. I think Yaw is super funny. But
yeah, I think look at penguins, man.
I think it goes both ways, and there's funny all the way around. But I like, once the veil has been lifted, and like obviously, clearly, everyone here in this chat and the people listening to this have eyes to see and ears to hear, right?
Maybe
it gets maybe. I'm not saying that I know it all. I have no idea, but it's like it gets funnier and funnier every single second.
Yeah, let's see what this. You guys seen this?
All of the records concerning Apollo are not classified, and yet they are unavailable to the public. One has to ask why. Say again. Oh, they would contain a wealth of information on, say, launch speed, scheduling, timing, problems, temperatures on the moon, temperatures in space, the performance of all of the major engine components, verniers, instrumentation readings. I mean, there would be literally thousands of pages of data on Apollo that actually investigators need to prove one way or another whether we really went to the moon.
Nope, you don't get that.
I remember
Sorry.
my parents waking me up, and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon,
No,
which
you
was
didn't. No, you didn't.
what?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. See, you associated what you saw with.
I have very hazy memories.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no, but what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio and listened.
Talking about how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said contact light, engine stop.
It was
and a few
exciting.
other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. Man, how about that?
That was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
Yeah. This was
all these
so.
stars and moons and all that.
It'd be nice if you wore a
But I
tie that was a
didn't.
tribute to me.
No, this is my tie.
No.
I bet you thought that's.
They're trying to stay in honor. They're trying to not lie.
They're telling the truth in plain sight, but yet also like not telling the truth. I mean, it's so clear.
Like
so
a magician, right? Like they're telling you, hey, I'm a magician. What you're about to see is not real. And then they do it and people are like, oh my God, how did you do that? That was real.
Exactly.
Well, all you, like, I mean, and again, like the minute you confront someone like this in real life that's trying to do this sort of trick on you, you know, you're going to get two different reactions. Like one reaction would be like, I'd be like, no, fuck you, buddy. I can see your bullshit. But guess what? The people next to him would be like, what's wrong with you? You know, what's wrong with you? Why would you say that to him? Because he's fucking lying. But these people can't see the lie. So, like, you know, how do you play that? You know, how do you play that over the old sociological condition?
You guys see this?
Mr. Determined said he didn't want to hijack the stream. So if you wanted to say,
Yeah, what's up? What's up, brother?
Well, I just wanted to call in. I was watching one of your older call-in shows like last night, and you were talking about sports rigging. So I just wanted to drop some gravy real quick, and then I have a
Let's hear
question. So rigging in sports is real. It's usually in the playoffs, championship games, middle of the season, not so much. But perfect example, when LeBron James beat Golden State, come down 3-1. He won with the Cavaliers on the real King James' birthday, Game 7. And King James, his son, King Charles, his army was the Cavaliers. As far as football, so whenever LA won last year, the season started on 9-9. You had two quarterbacks, 9-9, and the MVP was number 99. And it was definitely connected to Ukraine. And then the same with Tampa Bay. They won whenever they won in Tampa Bay. That was the first time that's ever happened. And of course, TB12 going to Tampa Bay. TB, they won the first year that anybody ever won at home. But that's the gravy I wanted to drop. So as far as sports rigging, it's definitely happening in championship games at least. And then I just wanted to ask if you could at some point do a video on like your favorite books as far as like flat earth books and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm down, dude. I want to put together a list of books because a lot of people are asking me.
But yeah,
I'm gonna let you guys keep rocking. I'm gonna pop off, but keep digging, guys. Love you guys, and have a good evening. All right.
All right, brother. Thanks for kicking
Peace
in,
out,
man.
Cheers,
Later, man.
I'm gonna dip out soon too. These are some good photos right here that you're about to show, though.
Yeah, I'm about to find this other one. So, like, the same thing with, like, how could they ever fake the Earth back then? There wasn't Photoshop, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, they literally showed that they had life-size, like, models. You know what I'm saying? It's not...
Not rocket science.
Real quick, back to when Buzz was on Conan, and he said, we saw the launch, and he goes, no, you didn't. There were no cameras. You were watching animation. Right then and there, he is literally telling you that it wasn't filmed. All that you saw there was animation, right?
Yeah, but they know that he knows it's like just enough where they can come up with the.
I thought it was
so
Wi-Fi,
crazy.
But, It was a mobile hotspot, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, wasn't that? What about the call? Was the call animation too?
Yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip because he seems senile. So to be tactical enough to even really actually like, you know, do something like that, like lie tactically, I don't know. It seems crazy. Where like I'm saying, I don't know that he could plan it out so much where he's like, I'll tell him just to, I mean, maybe, but he seems like he's actually crazy. It seems like he's an actual crazy person at this point. But what do I know? So I got that video of where they staged the picture of the Earth.
I'm about to dip out, but I'm gonna watch for a little bit before I crash.
All right, brother.
Thanks
you,
for keep crushing, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for jumping on.
Later, Anderson.
Peace out, you guys. Keep crushing it, guys.
Later, bro.
I'm a dip too, but I forgot one thing about sports rigging I wanted to share with y'all. It's crazy. So you remember in 2020, whenever they shortened season at MLB, well, they had to change Jackie Robinson Day, and that was the day that the guy who played Jackie Robinson died in the movie. Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther.
Wow.
They moved the day in the season, so it's not the day it was typically on. And he died on that day at 42. But if you search his name, it comes up that he died at 43. But if you use the Wayback Machine for like Wikipedia and articles and shit, he died at 42. They changed his birth year on Google and IMDb and everything, like the day he died.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to dip out. Y'all have a good one.
All right, brother. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah.
Later, man.
All right, you guys don't have to stay if you don't want to, but I'm gonna play this video of them faking.
Seen color television pictures that the crew of Apollo 11 high-resolution color video camera with them on their mission. Yet the only pictures broadcast live from the moon's surface were these from a low-definition black and white camera. In fact, the networks complained because in addition to this, they were forced to shoot the images second generation off of a projection TV of the technology of 30 years ago, and were not even allowed to take a direct feed, which further degraded the quality and clarity of the images. Perhaps this was precisely what NASA and the federal government had in mind. After all, it was a first, regardless of where they were. Better to open up their debut mission with fuzzy pictures and numerous blackouts, rather than show too much revealing detail of a false scene that was yet unproven. And finally, the element that seals their fate. All the footage of Apollo 11 requested from NASA over a 5-year period. One gem was discovered just before the completion of this documentary. An old reel received by mistake. It contains the raw or unedited footage of the crew of Apollo 11, Michael Collins, Edwin Aldrin Jr., and Neil Armstrong, staging part of their mission for nearly an hour in living color, with exceptionally clear behind-the-scenes audio of conversations discussing the techniques used to achieve a disingenuous picture depicting the Earth at a distance, in order to falsely demonstrate their far journey from it and their ability to survive passing through the Van Allen radiation belts. It cannot be misconstrued that this staging was done for some other reason, for the reel itself is slated and dated July 18th, 19th, and 20th, 1969, the very days of the mission when they were said to be approaching and achieving lunar orbit. Furthermore, it is apparent they are in genuine zero gravity of the actual spacecraft, necessary to convince the mass media of their authenticity, just not any further than Earth orbit, as you will see.
Yeah, caught
In
a
this never before
vomit
seen or
comment.
heard footage, not only is the radio conversation between the astronauts and Houston Control audible, there is a second.
By the way, we also know, of course, you can use electrostatics to levitate things. They could literally just be doing something like that inside of anywhere to this day.
Private conversation taking place between the crew and a third confidential party, prompting the astronauts with what to say, when to speak,
I like how they
and
use
how
the
to effectively manipulate the camera to achieve the desired misleading effect. NASA claims that the Houston transmissions were the only ones taking place with the astronauts. Listen now as Houston Control initiates a conversation with the crew, only to find them too preoccupied with the behind-the-scenes trickery to respond. Moments pass, and the oversight is picked up on by the clandestine third party, who quickly prompts them with talk. Immediately, Neil Armstrong speaks.
Hello, Apollo 11. Houston, Goldstone says that the TV looks great. Over. Okay, Roger. We're nothing in on Earth.
Again, the illusion they are attempting to create is the Earth at a distance to demonstrate their far journey from it and their ability to survive passing through the Van Allen radiation belt.
How is this not weird to someone, bro? How's this not weird, bro? They're sitting there faking a shot of the Earth to try to make it look like a ball from space, bro. Seriously?
Yeah, you know what? You're the
Apollo 11. Houston, Goldstone says that the TV looks great. Over. Okay, Roger. We're nothing in on Earth.
Again, the illusion they are attempting to create is the Earth at a distance to demonstrate their far journey from it and their ability to survive passing through the Van Allen radiation belts. Understand, too, that only about 20 seconds of this raw footage was ever broadcast to the public, and these conversations discussing their deception were believed to be private. Until now. Here they discuss that these television transmissions were in fact not broadcast live as everyone believed. They were first screened and edited for playback later.
Roger, Neil, we just wanted a narrative such that we can, when we get the playback, we can sort of correlate what we're so much.
Wow.
Here they discuss the fact that they have turned out the lights and have blocked out sunlight from entering the spacecraft through the other windows, as to not cause any reflected light to fall onto the spacecraft's wall in the foreground.
Okay, very good. Well, we shut out the sun coming in some of the other windows under the spacecraft, so looking through the number one window under it, any reflected light.
The reason this was done is so that the truth of the matter would not be revealed. It is this. Though the federal government would have you believe that this is a view of Earth from a distance out of the spacecraft's window as it nears the moon, it is not. What they have ingeniously done is placed the camera at the back of the spacecraft and centered the lens on a circular window in the foreground, outside of which it is completely filled with the Earth in low orbit.
Flat.
The circumference of the window then appears to be the diameter of the Earth at a distance, with the darkened walls of the spacecraft appearing to be the blackness of space around it.
Why would you have to do this? Why would you have to do this? Anyone want to help me out here? What? Why would you have to do this? We know they lied about the Earth, by the way, and this is a perfect example of what you would have to do to fake the Earth being a ball. So, I mean, my goodness.
That is why they wanted the interior dark and blocked out.
And they never.
Your audio is really muffled. What'd you say?
Oh, I said, can you imagine if somebody had like a jealous girlfriend or something, right? But they never cheat on her, but they act like they're cheating on her all the time. You know what I mean? Like that.
Out the sun from any other windows. Here you can see the extruded window, probably 2 inches thick at the bottom. This is because the Earth's shine is coming in at a downward angle. It also causes the Earth to appear to be an irregularly shaped circle, for you are seeing the outside of the window at the bottom and the inside of the window at the top, which together form 2 different sized halves of a circle. Subsequently, this take was never used. As they perfected the shot, a crescent-shaped piece of black material was inset slightly into the window to create the illusion of the Earth's terminator line dividing night and day.
Look at the shadow to the left, right over here. They botched this so bad.
It is uncannily convincing. During this segment, intended to be edited and played back later for the worldwide television audience, dated July 18, 1969, Neil Armstrong condemns himself as he states that he is 130,000 miles out, or halfway to the moon, as the NASA flight log also states on this date, when he is in reality in low Earth orbit of a few hundred miles.
Not even.
All right, Roger, Houston, Apollo 11. Calling in from about 130,000 miles out.
Here, during
Calling from about 137 miles out. That's a very, very cool story, bro.
another segment, also intended to air after review, Neil Armstrong falsely explains to the viewers how the shot is attained by putting the camera's lens to the window's glass, as it would have to be if they were the claimed distance away from the Earth.
We only have one window that has a view of the Earth, and it's filled up with a TV camera.
If the window was completely filled up with a TV camera, as
Wow, isn't that interesting?
he stated, then an astronaut's arm would not be able to get between the camera and the window, as it obviously does here in this outtake.
South America becomes invisible just off beyond the Terminator or inside the shadow.
It's funny how
You
they
can
always
also
describe
notice
what
how
the
the
Earth looks like
astronaut
while they're in
operating
space.
the camera
What?
It's funny how they always describe what the Earth looks like while they're in space.
Ugh.
reacted to the mistake by attempting to pan away from it.
See white bands, major cloud formations across.
It's almost like when you're looking in the mirror and you're trying
This is a
to do
segment that they
something, but
believed
then you
wasn't
try to
even being
correct it
recorded,
the opposite
much
way.
less suitable for broadcast, for the lens was being zoomed out and the scene was being changed to that of an interior of the astronauts at work, and apparently the stop button popped back up on the recorder without notice. Here is the diffused work light that they used to see camera controls,
Wow,
but not throw light onto the
It's an alien
spacecraft's wall.
spacecraft.
Ugh.
Here they remove part of the crescent insert.
How does someone still defend the moon missions after this?
So I was actually gonna say, like, if you showed this to someone and said, why would they practice this? Why would they do this whole thing? What would be the purpose of this if they did go to the moon?
And they'll come up with something, right? I mean,
That's crazy.
they'll say like, "Oh, they were just trying to figure out how to work the camera when they got out there or whatever." You know? This is the most damning thing.
Finally, the iris is opened up, see the real location of the camera and the very bright and near Earth out the window.
Bro, they're over a
Here
flat
is the
Earth.
slate for the 19th of July. And the same shot of trickery on the 19th of July. And then the 20th. And the same misleading shot on the 20th. Later that evening, they were said to be walking on the moon. How can this be when they were in Earth orbit only 9 hours earlier, and the moon is some 3 days' journey away? Furthermore, if they genuinely went to the moon, why would they be faking any part of it?
Bruh.
Why this trickery with the window? By faking being halfway to the moon, it becomes apparent that they did so because they could not even go halfway. On the 25th anniversary of the event in 1994, Neil Armstrong made a rare public appearance and held back tears as he spoke these brief cryptic remarks before the next generation of taxpayers.
Today we have with us a group of students among America's best. To you, we say, we have only completed a beginning. We leave you, that is, undone. There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
Why would you say something so creepy, man?
Yeah, like so cryptic and like, what are you talking about?
One thing I want to say real quick is people will go, like, people who will like, one of the things that I've heard that people say is, well, they were just doing it for the money. They were trying to beat the Russians, right? That whole thing. It's like, wait, you mean the same people that got together and signed the Antarctic Treaty to not allow us to privately, you mean like those same countries that were working together in that way? It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, it says NASA sees colonies on the moon by 1978. Give you an idea of how long they've been pushing this nonsense narrative that they're going to go to the moon. And
And what's really interesting is that craft right there, right? Like you can see that they're purposely trying to make it look futuristic for the time. And now, like that we're in the future, that looks retarded. Like that has no action. Yeah, it has no practical application, but for people back in then that can believe that we went to the moon, that's totally believable.
Yeah. And they haven't gone back since. You see the fact that they were faking it and faking the video, and they haven't gone back since. You have to be ridiculous not to put it together, you know, honestly.
It is clear from the
Like I said, you guys don't have to stay, but I'm gonna play a few more videos because
if they fake going back, they're going to say that they went to the dark side of the moon.
dude, I think they're gonna have like an explosion or something and say it's too dangerous and we have to send robots and maybe, like you said, the dark side so no one can document that.
Yeah.
And people will eat it up, bro. Like, I don't know how. I guess do people say that video's fake? Right, like of them faking it, like that's fake video, or like what? You have to say something like that, right? Or you just?
I think
I don't know.
The more popular belief now is that there was something that we couldn't know, like some type of alien classified deal, and that's why they did that. And people believe that over that it was just faked.
Well, then at the least you have to still admit they lied and faked the moon landing, right? Like, yeah, like people. The fact there are humans that argue that it wasn't fake. I mean.
After this video, in the StreamYard, I linked just an image that you can like zoom into of the limb, and we should just like look at that and talk about it after the video if you're interested.
Cool. Yeah, let's do it. This is 9 minutes, but I think this is going to be a good one like that one. So.
Color television pictures that the crew of Apollo 11 high-resolution color video camera with them on their mission. Yet the only pictures broadcast live from the moon's surface were these from a low-definition black and white camera. In fact, the networks complained because in addition to this, they were forced to shoot the images second generation off of a projection TV of the technology of 30 years ago.
Yo, hey, do you hear that? Like all the news stations had to shoot it off of the projection on the TV.
But then again, I thought Buzz told Conan that what they saw wasn't film. They didn't have cameras. It was all animation.
Well, he's saying, yeah, but he's saying, you know, the story is he's saying that just like when it was landing, because no one was there, no one was on the moon yet, right? I mean, but this is just crazy that they told him they had to film it off of the projector, bro. Like, what the hell, bro? There's no way they could fake it. Like, dude, what you saw was filmed off of a projection screen, bro. Like, get out of here. And then she just said they had colored cameras, but they're all in black and white. It's easier to fake it, right?
Were not even allowed to take a direct feed, which further degraded the quality and clarity of the images. Perhaps this was precisely what NASA and the federal government had in mind. After all, it was a first, regardless of where they were. Better to open up their debut mission with fuzzy pictures and numerous blackouts, rather than show too much revealing detail of a false scene that was yet unproven. And finally, the element that seals their fate. All the footage of Apollo 11 requested from NASA over a 5-year period. One gem was discovered just before the completion of this documentary. An old reel received by mistake. It contains the raw or unedited footage of the crew of Apollo 11.
Just saw it. All right, cool. Let's look at this picture you got. Pretty crazy stuff, and that's got. I have a bunch more, but I don't want to just sit here and watch them all day. All right.
You get tired of watching moon landing shit? Huh?
Yeah, especially when you've already really looked into it. It's like,
if you you got it. Just look at that, guys. Like, I'm gonna like. There's this Russian guy who makes videos, like random videos, and he puts like the packing bubbles into a vacuum, and they literally, and it like explode, and it's like, how is something like that going to get through the temperatures, the temperature fluctuations, right? and then just like that, the conditions to get that piece of equipment unharmed up, it's just so preposterous.
Well, they're gonna say, of course, they say this was inside the rocket, right? And then,
hey, you know how kids wear backpacks nowadays? Even like people go on stage and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Say again?
You know how all kinds of like the younger generation now, all of them wear backpacks everywhere they go, even when they're like on stage and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is, I just looked at the astronaut's backpack, and it's just like how the style of backpacks they wear now, like little square, like everybody is like rocking something that has to do with NASA too. They're trying to put that style out there like that. That astronaut backpack.
I can't get what you're saying. Well, what I was kind of saying, okay, so if let's say they have the rocket inside of the top, right, and it's completely sealed, that means it's pressurized, right? So as soon as that thing opens, right, like as soon as that opens, how wouldn't that pressure tear that type of material?
Oh yeah. No, this just being out in the vacuum is absurd.
Yeah. And there's a clip of one of the astronauts saying, "Oh, like it was so thin, it was paper thin. You could poke your finger through it."
Yeah. It's just, bro, I don't know.
And people see that, bro. People see that, and that's like an idol to them. Like that is literally like, oh my gosh, that is such a we should be proud of this image we're seeing right here. This defines a generation. This defines the greatness of our nation. It's so retarded.
Dude, it is.
Everybody take off
this rare clip.
To take off work that day to watch the parade either on TV or live.
Well, you can understand, right? Like the claim that you're gonna go send people into space on the moon, like that sounds crazy, but like once you see it, like I heard that 30% of Americans at the time didn't believe in it, and there's probably like that many that believe in it now, and that just shows you how dangerous freaking propaganda is, bro. Like more people percentage-wise believe it now. I mean, just because they're ignorant and they never watched any of this. They've never really looked into it. You had someone in my chat tonight like defending it. Right. I mean, obviously some people are crazy, but all right, we're going to watch this video instead. And then this is probably the last video. I have a lot of them though. I'll drop a ton, just like I did with the 9/11. I'll drop a lot of links to moon landing stuff down below after we post it.
Hey Doug, I'm going to take off. I'm going to go eat dinner with my lady, bro. Have a good night.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on, man.
All right, thank you. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, later, bro. Yeah, you don't have to stay if you don't want to, man. I know I'm just dragging you through videos.
Oh, no, I'm good, man. I'll jump off just because you said you're going to end it off this, so I'll finish it out in chat. Thanks for having me, brother.
Oh, all right, cool, yeah. Thanks for kicking it, my man. And, yeah, we'll have you on again soon.
For sure. Peace, brother.
All right, bro. Later. All right, guys, we're going to watch this video, and then I'll chat with you guys for a little bit. And I'll check. I haven't seen any donations, so I think we're good. But if anyone sends any, I'll read them. You come to Austin's channel to defend the moon landing? Like, why? I mean, it's so weird. It's so weird. Honestly, just defending the moon landing is weird. But anyway, we'll play this video. It's 10 minutes, but it should be some gravy. And like I said, I'll drop all the links, and then we'll wrap it up. I'll come chat with you guys after this video. And like I said, you can go to witsitgetsit.live. I'm hoping it works. So I haven't seen anyone send a donation through there. I'm hoping that no one has, right? Because I'm hoping it works. Because I'm trying to get this all set up, which is why I didn't do a stream yesterday, and I've just been kind of doing it like nonstop, honestly. But I'm trying to get it all set up so we can really up the quality of the content. It should be cool. But anyway, I dropped the link in there, and let's check it out. What? Where's it at? Okay. And roll the
Attained
footage.
decades ago, was never re-released with the inevitable increase in experience and scrutiny. To demonstrate 1/6 gravity, a bouncy, floaty feel to the astronaut's movements would be similarly achieved with relative simplicity. Slow motion. You are viewing the scenes as they aired more than 30 years ago. Now let's look at them with the speed doubled. It becomes discernible that they are, in fact, in Earth's gravity and are no more leaving the ground than they would on Earth.
Let's see what happens. Okay, fans on. And the feather's not moving. In fact, let's zoom in on that.
This second experiment proves that combustion is not possible in a vacuum.
Okay, so I just saw it shows the same like smoking gun video. So cool. And like I said, there's a lot more videos here, but I'll just drop them in the description if you need us to look at them. I'll show you this. This is a Russian fakery regarding the moon early back in the day. So let's check it out.
A happy landing for Russia's unmanned Luna 17 spacecraft and a big step forward for Soviet scientists in Lenin's Jubilee year. The first self-propelled vehicle ever to drive across the lunar landscape is controlled from Earth. It's called Lunokhod 1, and here's how this extraordinary Heath Robinson 8-wheeler was rolled down from the spacecraft onto the Sea of Rains. The size of the vehicle hasn't been disclosed, but it's been sending back television pictures and carries, among other equipment, a laser reflector. It's been used to survey the moon's surface. So now Soviet space experts have proved their theory that space exploration can be carried out by automatic equipment without risking the lives of astronauts. To Russia, Lunokhod is worth its weight in moon dust. A happy landing for Russia's unmanned Luna 17 spacecraft and a big step forward for Soviet scientists in Lenin's Jubilee year.
So funny. All right, cool. Thanks for kicking it. I know it was just kind of all over the place, and it's been 2.5 hours, kind of a long stream, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Similar to the 9/11 stream, where it's just kind of like nostalgic to look back and remember where you first woke up. Some people haven't, so what can you do? How long is the delay controlling the machines on the moon from Earth, though? It doesn't make sense. We could talk forever about it. They called the moon from 238,000 miles away on a landline with inconsistent delay, like delay, the no delay. It would be the same amount of delay, and sometimes there was no delay. Again, they killed Gus, who said that they couldn't go. They said that they destroyed the technology. They lost all the evidence of it. Supposedly 72 was the last real picture that we got of the Earth in entirety. And we don't have any other real pictures of the Earth in entirety to this day. And then, so people get really triggered when we say that. So that's what woke me up to flat Earth was I heard B.O.B. saying that the Earth's flat. And I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? And I was like, let's go find a picture of the Earth from space. And then I saw I found out that the blue marble was from 1972 Apollo missions, like the picture of the Earth from space, the blue marble. And I'm like, wait, what? 72? Like 2015. How do we not have real pictures of the Earth from space? That's weird because I already knew the moon missions were fake. So I'm like, that's so sketchy. That's super sus, right? We would have hundreds of thousands of pictures of the Earth in entirety from space, and people come up with all kinds of excuses. Oh, it's too big, you can't take pictures. Well, they allegedly did it in 72. They come up with all kinds of crazy stuff, and then they say that we do have a picture, right? So let's go. They say we do have real shots of the Earth from space. Flat earthers say that, but that's not true. Of course, 2002 blue marble was admittedly photoshopped because it has to be. It was completely fake, and they take like tons of data, stitch it together, and then have a flat map projection, then wrap that around a spherical projection, and then they bring an artist in to match what the observer expects it to look like in an artist rendition. So I want to show you guys this. This is what they bring up a lot. they bring up the Himawari. Okay. And they say this is the real picture of the Earth from space. It's supposed to happen every 10 minutes. But when you go there, it's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It's rarely even actually on time, 10 minutes. And this isn't a real picture. Now, I won't get all the way into this right now, but I'll just show you this. So when you zoom in, now this is like the best picture ever, right? This is the Earth from space. And this proves that we have real pictures. All right, watch. Now, people again claim that this is us taking a picture of the Earth in entirety from space. Let's see if I can find it. If you scroll through, I don't know why I'm not seeing it. If you scroll through here, you'll see little purple stitching where this is stitched together. Actually, I don't see it. Okay, I just did this the other day. There'll be these giant purple lines come across the screen like this that stitch this picture together. This is not a real picture of anything. Okay, and watch this. Now, we have the data from their own website, and admittedly, this is like they lay this over blue marble data sets. They have a base cartoon ball that they put the data on top of. But look. Yeah, this is so real. This is so real. And just the other day, it's like, dude, I swear they like listen to what I talk about. I don't want to sound too paranoid, but it's like, anyway. So the point is that when you see that and you like, oh, the last supposed real picture of the Earth from space in entirety being a ball is from 72, like entirety, one picture, take the picture of the Earth, right? We should have 4K live streams showing the Earth in entirety as a ball. We should have eclipses from the outside. We should see rockets re-entering the atmosphere from the outside. We should be able to zoom in on the bottom of the ball showing stuff upside down. You'll never get any of this stuff. We should have them do full 360 pans in space, right? To show all of space all around you. They should be wearing cameras just like so we can see from the astronaut's perspective, like a GoPro or whatever, and just turning around in space to show us full 360. You'll never see it because in a studio, there's something called the fourth wall. They don't go to space. You can't go to space. The fact that they have to blatantly lie about the Earth and present it as if it's real pictures when you look into it, it's not. They don't tell you, well, this isn't a real picture. It's too big to take it. That's impossible. But they present it like it's real. Why would they have to do that? Then you go and look into the moon landing, into the moon missions, and you see that they were literally faking shots of the Earth through a window. Dude, it's insane. Okay. And so I think that we live in the time of like the mass awakening, great awakening in a way. That phrase has been psyoped and, co-opted. But anyway, some people don't have the eyes to see, bro. And so you gotta let them go, bro. You gotta understand that some people just don't know, man. Y'all know ODTV? Yeah, of course. So basically, in summary, we could talk about the moon landing forever, right? Like they said that they had moon rocks. Admittedly, they get majority of their moon rocks already on the Earth. They just claim they come from the moon. So provably, what they call moon rocks are found on the Earth. So yeah, they could just find all the rocks on the Earth then, right? I mean, that's ridiculous. At least you have some sales pitches like you find a rock that's no one can find ever. They find rocks on the moon. I mean, they find the moon rocks on the Earth. So no one went there. No one picked up anything. And they still haven't been back for obvious reasons. And if we could keep going, you can look into China's like most recent one. It's like laughable. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, here. This is their released images of their successful moon mission. Wow. China went to the moon. Wow.
Shortly after touching down happen, including a camera as well as scoop and drill capability, formation and volcanic activity.
Why we only see
About the moon's
cartoons all the
origins,
time?
Formation and volcanic, and sending back images like these. Billions of dollars
You guys think this is really them on the moon right here?
still roaming around, exploring the surface, and sending back images like never
Bruh.
before. It's still roaming around, exploring the surface, and sending back images like these.
So anyway, it's pretty obvious. Then they said they're going to go back to the moon here soon. They've been saying it forever since then. Every single president said we're going to go back. They keep saying we're going to go back. They keep pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back. $60 million a day is not enough to go back to the moon, but you could do it in 72. They destroyed the technology. We would have to talk forever, right? We'd have to talk forever. The impact of this is not as simple as, oh, they faked the moon. Now, what can my cognitus come up with about why they faked the moon landing to explain it away? Oh, well, we had to beat the Soviet Union because of communism versus capitalism and freedom, right? We had to beat the commies. So we had to lie for national security purposes so we could beat communism. Okay, cool story, bro. I used to think that when I was 13, right? That's what I thought, because I didn't think anything. I didn't even think about the Earth being lied about. So I'm like, oh, they must have lied so we could beat Russia. And of course, they assassinated JFK. I'm like, well, maybe he wouldn't have gone along with the fakery, so they took him out. You got, of course, the evidence about Stanley Kubrick being approached by the government to help them do a film. And again, he released the film of the year, 2001: Space Odyssey, in 1968. Anyway, long story short, the implications of this are drastic. This is why when you see these people that are like globe Earth apologists, most of the time they can't really let go of the moon landing. Because once you let go of the moon landing and you admit to yourself and you're honest, like, oh, it looks like they faked it. There's no legitimate evidence that we went. There's way too many holes in it. They clearly like faked it. They lied to us about it. You can say, oh, well, they just lied because of the Soviet Union thing. They're lying because they can't show us what's really up there. They're trying to hide aliens or whatever. Or you can be honest and say, oh, well, we can't go to the moon. They can't actually go. That's why they faked it. And once you figure out that they faked the moon landing, and you figure out that's the last supposed real picture of the Earth from space in entirety of it being a ball, it gets real. All of a sudden, it gets real. All of a sudden, these flat earthers aren't stupid, crazy conspiracy theorists that just believe anything they see on the internet. No, it's just common sense that they don't have a real picture of the Earth. So I think the moon landing is an important place to start with people, just like 9/11. I told you, like, show them some of this evidence. I'll drop a bunch of links in the chat. You know, and it's always good to maybe try to wake them up with this first. I think most flat earthers know that, but Sabrell isn't a flat earther. Yeah, allegedly he's not a flat earther, but that's my point. Like, dude, it doesn't make any sense, because if you know that's the last real picture of the Earth from space in entirety as a ball, and you know that obviously isn't real, then you have to ask yourself, for one, why did they show it to us like it was real? Two, why do we not still have tons of pictures? Why are we not getting hundreds of thousands of pictures in high definition in entirety? Why do we only get cartoons stitched over, like stitched together from high altitude pictures? Why don't we ever get because the Earth's not a ball, bro. The Earth is not that stupid physics defying cartoon. And you can't go to space. You can't land on the moon. It's not something you can walk on. No one's going to ever go there. Let it go. Don't make it weird. And now they're finally saying that they're about to go back. Oh, never mind. There's a crack. Oh, never mind. There's a leak. We keep pushing it back. Keep pushing it back. And then actually, I think I'm going to play this video for you guys to wrap this up. Because like I said, they said they were about to go back to the moon, right? And everyone's like, yay, we're going back to the moon. And we're just obviously not. Oh, I don't have it. Dang, that sucks. That is absolute trash. So I don't know where it's at. That sucks, because there's an awesome video that my boy made that I was going to show you guys. It's super funny, but it's them walking back and changing when they're going to go to the moon over and over and over. And best. Bear with me, young Padawans. I'm just trying to find it. I don't know. I don't see it. It's so funny. Like it's their footage right now it's like a video right now of them walking it back over and over about them going to the moon. And now shout out everyone on Rockfin. Just a sec. Okay, there we go. I found it. It's pretty hilarious. And this just kind of sums it up. This is them today not being able to go back. And then you have the apologists always say, yeah, I had someone say they'd bet me 20 grand they go by 2027, like back in the day. I'm like, no, you won't. Like, do you actually want to bet that? Like, oh, well, I'm not actually going to bet it. You'll never pay me and all that stuff. It's like, they're never going to go back. If they do, it's going to be completely faked and nonsense, right? But anyway, here is a 2-minute video of NASA right now regarding going to the moon.
A new era of human space exploration.
We're going to the moon.
Join us.
We've diversified.
I am gay.
I am gay.
I am a queer woman.
I am non-binary. I use they, them.
I am a lesbian.
I am a transgender woman. I am NASA.
I am a queer woman, and I am NASA.
I am NASA.
We still have a little ways to go, but I think as years go on, we're casting our net wider and wider. We need gay scientists.
Hispanic doctors. We need Black engineers.
Thanks to their invincible spirit.
We are going.
We're going.
We are going.
We are going.
We're not going anywhere.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
This is really just us doing our job.
NASA will not meet its goal of landing humans on the moon in 2024.
I gotta play that part again. It's so funny, bro.
We
need gay scientists.
Hispanic doctors. We need Black engineers.
Thanks to their invincible spirit.
We are going.
We're going.
We are going.
We are going.
We're not going anywhere.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
This is really just us doing our job.
NASA will not meet its goal of landing humans on the moon in 2024. We don't even have a target date for when we can anticipate a moon landing. What year you realistically believe we'll put land a crew on the moon again?
No earlier than 2025.
No earlier than 2026, but be a good bit later.
2027 time frame is probably realistic.
The realistic one was 33.
It's 2033.
I know folks are really thinking, hey, when are we going to launch? And that actually gave us a little pause of wondering if we were going to be able to make launch attempts on those 3 dates. And I stress launch attempts. Of course, it's the first time we're trying to launch this vehicle, so we're going to be careful.
We've also installed one of the mannequins, Commander Munikin.
We'll be traveling about 24,500 miles an hour, or Mach 32. No aerodynamic or aerothermal test facility can recreate the conditions that we will see. That our mission planners have started to build timelines, detailed timelines. I want to reinforce about this being a test flight.
Because we do have some challenges right now. That would be a real challenge for us, I'll be honest with you.
Criteria, material potential that, because we can't test this fully on the ground.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
I made sure to introduce myself with my pronouns.
We need gay scientists. We still have a little ways to go.
Super funny, bro. That's my boy FMX Editing. Go show him some love and sub. How am I not subbed? I always forget to sub to everyone, though. Yeah, go sub to my boy FMX Editing. I'll drop the link in the chat. He makes hilarious videos. That video is hilarious. And obviously that's all real footage from NASA. And super funny. He's like, we are going. We are going. We aren't going anywhere. All right. Thank you guys for kicking it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. The moon landing is clearly a lie. They lied about it. That's why they haven't gone back. They never went in the first place. Technology gets better. It doesn't get worse. There's so many lies. It almost gives me a headache to have to go through it. So tedious, right? Because it's so stupid. But present it to people. I'll drop the American Moon documentary and a bunch of different, videos that we watched tonight. I'll drop a bunch of the stuff in the chat. And you guys can show it to other people and try to wake them up with that first, and then explain to them why that matters, because that's the supposed last real picture of the Earth from space in entirety as a globe. And knowing that isn't real because the moon missions weren't real changes everything. And then you have to ask yourself, if you're honest, why has it been 50 years and we don't have another real picture of the Earth as a ball from space in entirety? Makes no sense. It's because the Earth's not a ball in space. So yeah, there you go. I just wanted to kind of cover it and let you guys jump on because I'm just trying to work on the OBS and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to work on it for another hour or so and try to get to bed because I've been staying up too late working on all this stuff because I'm like an OBS boomer. And then I set all Streamlabs up with all these ideas for all the different shows and templates. And I'm like, oh, Streamlabs is not going to work. So I'm having to set it all up on OBS. And obviously not everything's integrated for free that way. So I'm trying to find overlays and they want to charge money for everything. And, you know, brothers got bills. It feels like I got to figure out how to pay the freaking bills. So I'm trying to figure it all out and get it all done so we can roll out the new style show with all the like prepared episodes and stuff. So it should be cool, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. There you go. Vader Bridge dropped it. PayPal.me/InnerWorld. And again, you can go to @whatsitgetsit.live and I'll drop that link one more time in the chat and I'll start putting it. So I'm going to update the description and everything. And yeah, so anyway, we're almost there. I know I've been telling you guys we're going to get it rolling for a while, but we are, and it's almost there. So it should be cool. Hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, I'm doing another debate on Modern Day Debate Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. I think we might try to get the clones video out Friday night. I'll make sure you guys know what's going on with that tomorrow. And if you go to @whatsitgetsit.live, you'll see that I'm going to keep this. I'm going to try to get all this rocked out, but you're going to see all kinds of different things on there. I'm going to try to get like a calendar with my dates on there. And yeah, I'm going to keep adding to it. I'm going to start jumping on Twitter and stuff. So you'll see my Twitter feed on there. And then Twitter will let you know when I'm going live. Facebook will let you know when I'm going live. And we're going to get it all rocked out. So, okay, cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Who you debating? Some guy. I don't know him. I don't know who it is. But that's why I said yes, was because I didn't know who it was. If it was like one of these like typical anti-flat earthers, I wouldn't do it. They're exhausting. So yeah, and then at the bottom of @whatsitgetsit.live is my debate playlist, and then we're gonna have that physicist on for a conversation here soon, hopefully next week sometime. So cool. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming. So just stay tuned. Check your mail, Austin, under the alt one. Where'd that go? You have got the science now, dude. I'm not sure what you're talking about. All right, cool. So claiming fake globe Earth defines flat Earth. Well, what we're saying is they lied about the Earth. It's provably not a spinning ball with a radius of 3959. If the Earth isn't curving anywhere, what is it? So yeah, that's right. That's exactly. You're getting it now. So a bunch of dishonest people want to ignore the fact that their model's provably fake, that they lie, that they have no proof for it, that they lie with the moon landing, that they're just believing stories from daddy government, and they think physicists and scientists are on their side, but really just a bunch of people that also believe the lie and are just running around with their heads cut off trying to figure out how to add pieces together within the lie. And yeah, if we falsify the radius of a globe of 3959, then it's not what they taught us. So now we have to scrap that. That's the first step. So we're globe deniers. That's right. Everyone wants to be like, no, well, how would it work if the Earth is flat, like this disc that I saw on the internet that no real flat earthers believe in? Oh, I want to ignore all the facts that debunk what they told me. I don't want to talk about that. I just want to say that if you can come up with something, then I now have a justification to ignore all the evidence. And that's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And people just say Earth's a globe. It's literally not, though. It's literally not. I've looked into it for many years. We all have. You can physically test the surface of the Earth, and we falsify the radius of 3,959 miles many times, many different ways. And there's no evidence that the Earth is spinning. Planes flying north to south on a meridian route, Great Circle route, debunk the globe. They don't have to update for the Earth spinning. And then you're like, oh, there's Coriolis with an inertial and accelerative frame. Oh, and there's also like just a singular frame where it moves in lockstep with the Earth. Oh, but it's with lockstep, but it's not with lockstep. Oh, so it lags behind the Earth, but it doesn't really. And then it actually speeds up at the top of it and goes faster than the Earth. And I can't explain any of it, but I just know that I have to believe it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's like if people don't want to know the truth, they don't want to know the truth. And the truth is they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to know the truth. You're not allowed to know. You're not worthy of the truth. You literally aren't supposed to know it. So like, I'm not interested in converting you or something. Like, you're not supposed to know it. You're literally not supposed to know it. And so that's okay. anyway, so yeah, we test the veracity of the globe Earth claims and the veracity of these claims about going to space and stuff, and then we go from there. That's what an honest person does. An honest person doesn't just frantically find some way to try to dismiss all that evidence and try and change the subject to a straw man of what they think other people are saying. So that's called being a clown. So anyway, thank you guys for kicking it. Again, you can go to whatsitgetsit.live. You can also go to paypal.me/innerworld, $whatsitgetsit on Cash App, or patreon.com/whatsitgetsit to support the stream. You can also sign up to become a member on YouTube. We'll have member-only chats, member-only streams. And then I saw a few people sign up by Patreon, so shout out to you guys. You guys are legends. I'm trying to get everything done. A lot of stuff that I'm putting all together, but I'm going to try to get the whole new Patreon thing rolled out with all the new perks and everything, and start uploading exclusives there. And then I am working on something to shout out the patrons every channel. So if you're a patron, I'm going to shout you guys out. I don't think it goes unnoticed. It's greatly appreciated. And yeah, I'm trying to get everything situated out, financial wise, on my end. So we're hoping to try to figure all that out. And then we're going to get rocking out. So anyway, cool. Thank you guys for kicking it. Seek and speak truth unequivocally. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. So strong people don't care what weak people think. Informed people don't care what ignorant people think. And strong people don't care what weak people think. And the truth is that most people don't actually do the diligent research required to actually understand what it is that they hold to be true. And if you can't fully understand it, you certainly can't think that you know you have a justified belief. You can't have justification of belief if you don't actually test the veracity of the belief. And the first step would be to know what it is that you believe, not just because someone else tells you what you're supposed to believe. Everyone else thinks that, so I'm going to automatically think that. And if someone's on that wavelength, even though waves aren't things, they're just types of movement of a medium, then you obviously can't be discussing any type of high level intellectual discussions with them. You can't discuss anything that requires discernment or wisdom. So you just got to kind of understand that and let it go. Shout out to Mark. Thank you for the $2.99 super chat. Greatly appreciated, brother. Much love. So just, it is what it is. Just kind of let the dust off your feet and let them be. The truth is they stalk flat earthers. They're all in my chat. They're all in my emails. They just constantly are obsessing over what we're doing. That's because they can't help it but live vicariously through us, because they see that we are actually on the front edge trying to figure out what's going on, calling out the truth, and we're bold enough to not be worried about what everyone else thinks. And there's this part of their subconscious that they long to be like that, where they can't even understand or compute someone being brave enough or bold enough to seek and speak truth unequivocally, and to speak the truth regardless of whatever might come with it, including societal ostracism. And so it is what it is. Kind of like I said, treat them like children in a way. They know not what they do. And then you'll be much better off. Just keep elevating. Don't worry about the low vibration toxicity, the allegations even within quote unquote flat earth, which is a psyop term, all the people arguing with each other, all the infighting, all the like distractions, all the try to keep you in the box. You can only talk about this. This is the real flat earth script. All that's nonsense. Just step back from it. No one cares. Like, just keep elevating and keep looking for truth, and understand that you're probably never going to figure it all out, but that's a beautiful thing at the same time, because you always have something to look forward to. And the journey of truth can be argued to be the actual purpose of life. Of course, that, and then making babies, getting married and making babies. So anyway, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Little nostalgia. I know I just sped it up, but it's kind of a habit. And I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have the OBS run out by then, and then we'll get to roll out all the new shows and everything. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for kicking it. And yeah, I'll catch up with you guys mañana. Peace out.
That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they sipping pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big Pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick. With a forceful grip, they force him a symptom that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature that mean distorted it, they forging it. If news ain't good, informants who informing them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this: we courting ships, important gifts. Of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informing this, informing this. It looked like we were storing tricked. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder is it real? Rappers actors say they high, say they sip with pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder is it real?